All right, good evening. I call this July 28th meeting of the Abington Conservation Commission to order. The time is 6:30 p.m. My name is Lynn Mullen, and I am the chair of the commission. This meeting is being recorded for broadcast by the Abington Community Access and Media Incorporated. Is anyone recording themselves? No? Okay. So I'd like to introduce the other members of the commission. Tonight, we have Jean Matiosis, John Norton, AJ Schneider. On Zoom, we have Chris O'Neill, and I want to introduce our brand new member, Libby Sabunjian, right?
Good.
Okay. Sorry.
Close enough.
Close enough. All right, I'll get that in time. Okay, welcome. All right, so in assisting the commission is our conservation agent, Nick Jenks. So as a reminder, all documents that must have been submitted to the commission at least a week before tonight's hearing. You can always give us the documents tonight. If you have additional documents, they'll be accepted by us, but the hearing will be to continue to allow the commission and members of the public to have adequate time to review the new materials. So now I just want to briefly explain how we're going to run the meeting tonight. The applicant or property owner or representative will introduce themselves by coming up to the podium. You'll give your name and your address, and then a presentation if you have one. The commission will then ask questions for clarification, and then after that, I'll open it to the floor for public comment. Members of the public should also go to the podium, introduce themselves, their name, full name and address, and direct all comments through the chair. And then once we finish public comment, we'll bring it back to the commission for discussion. At that point, we won't be taking additional public comment unless the commission asks for them. And for all of the items on the agenda, we may take action this evening or we may continue a hearing to a future meeting. And then one final word, our recording equipment is fantastic, but there's one little problem with it doesn't pick up overlapping voices very well. So I just want everyone to know that and to only speak one at a time. Okay, so before we get into the different applications, we do have our annual reorganization for the commission vote to go on right now. So first up will be chair. I will recuse myself from this.
I will make a motion to appoint Lynn Mullen as conservation chair.
Second.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay. And
You
I have to do a roll call. Jean?
Aye.
John?
Aye.
AJ?
Aye.
Libby?
Yes.
And Chris?
Aye.
All right, next is vice chair. Can you get a motion for a vice chair?
Make a motion for Jean Matiosis for vice chair.
Okay. Can you give a second?
Second.
Okay. All right, we'll do a roll call. Jean, you have to excuse yourself.
Aye.
John's right.
Aye.
AJ?
Sorry.
Aye.
Libby?
Aye.
And Chris?
Aye.
Okay, unanimous. All right, thank you, everybody. All right, so the first up that we have is, okay, the request for the Abington girls softball has been pushed. They can't be here till 7 p.m. So we're going to go to the next one, which is request for determination of applicability filed by Christopher and.
Sorry, Lynn.
Sorry?
I'm going to try to get that one off Zoom, if you don't mind.
Oh,
832 Randolph.
oh, I'm sorry. Thank you. I forgot about that. Sorry about that. Chris Reed, you're here, 832 Hanson, or Randolph Street?
Yes.
Yes. Okay, so we're trying to get an update on the enforcement order. We have a letter from Hancock Associates with an update about it.
Yes.
Okay. So, members of the commission, do you have any questions?
Well, I guess my question is, I didn't really see the letter, so I don't really know what it consisted of, but, you know, this has been an ongoing situation, and the delineations were done, the restoration was supposed to begin, and just to know where we are in the process, and, you know, what are we looking at for completion, so we can start monitoring or to get out there and take a look at it?
Okay, there is a letter from David Cowell with his suggestions. He's been very tough to get a hold of, to get things inspected, to get things fixed if there is a problem. It really drags things on, but at the end of the day, it's our problem if it's not done. We've already removed the rocks from the berm that were put in. We've already added rocks to the left 100-foot side that were missing. And it had said that there was some plants missing, or you couldn't find the species. I can't send them right now, but I can send you over receipts for everything we bought there, I've purchased for this project. And at the end of the day, we didn't do a great job planting what we needed to plant. So we would like to go back in there, get everything ready for planting. We got to cut back the knotweed and take care of that with some chemicals. And he had suggested a time frame for the fall for the planting. But that is really, it's up to you guys, whatever you want us to do, we'll do.
Well, the optimum time for planting would be fall, because, I mean, and the species, has there been a change in the variety of species that you're using? I'm sorry, I'm not on this.
No, everything that was specified on David's list is what we used.
Okay.
We actually bought bigger trees. They were a lot more expensive, but we bought bigger trees for the berm because the box elders are not available. And we purchased all the proper seed for that, all the proper plants, and the planting did not survive well. So we need to go in there, remove that, clean up the area, get some better soil in there. And I think we'll have everything in the proper condition. I do apologize that this has taken so long. We've closed the tree company down completely, just for financial reasons, and this added on to it, but it's not your problem, it's ours, and we do want to get this done.
Okay. Thanks.
Are these plantings done under the direction of the wetland scientist? Or did he say, you guys do this?
He came over to show us how he wanted it, and then once we were done, he was supposed to come back. I asked him several times to come back and check on it, and he usually is not available, because I would like to have done it done properly too, because now it's going to cost me another $15,000. So, it's tough.
Yeah.
I definitely have to say, I did not agree with him when he proposed this plan originally to utilize a berm over a buffer. And just looking at the photos here, you already had to punch a hole through to try to provide drainage, and everything is rutted and muddy. I can't see how this is going to be a sustainable option for the property long-term with any kind of tenant. It's just not usable if that berm's trapping all your rainwater and runoff. And it's going to keep choking out the plants at the same time.
Lynn?
The reason you guys did want a soil scientist, and I completely agreed with it, and he is the one that proposed that. Obviously, we don't have any say in it.
Okay.
So when he did that, I guess it was, I know some people didn't want it, so we just did what was approved, and I'm not against what you're saying for sure, because it does hold some water. We did get rid of that relief area. So,
Yeah, and I'm just more concerned, I know you're trying to find a new tenant for the yard and everything going forward, obviously.
yeah.
Whoever goes in there, if they got any piece of equipment or shovels, they're gonna punch a hole right through again to drain, because I remember driving by one day, and it looked like a cranberry bog out there. There was so much standing water. So,
Yeah, I saw that from the street when I was driving by.
yeah, I just, long-term and sustainability of his design, I just don't want to see you back here in 5 years with the same issues because somebody took out the berm to make the property usable.
I have to echo what he just said, actually. That was one of my notes I had made, is that one of your biggest problems is drainage. There should have been a design, whenever you put a berm in anywhere on a site like that, especially something used for that kind of a purpose, you need to design some kind of a BMP out there. It can be a very simple one, but it's got to be some kind of an overflow with some kind of a protective measure associated with it, or else you're just going to get complete failure. And I also noticed that the soils that were used were just inadequate. I mean, you can see it's too rocky. You don't have a hydric layer put back in there that's usable without a problem. In my opinion, then the whole thing needs to get a redesign and a re-review and a re-permitting relative to memorialization under an amended enforcement order.
It seems to me that you've had a lot.
Right.
Thank you. It seems to me that you have several times mentioned the difficulty of working with this wetland scientist. And I'm just wondering if, I mean, he's not the only wetland scientist in the world. Maybe you need to find somebody who's going to be working more closely, hand in glove with you guys, and come up with something that would work for this site. But I agree.
We're $20,000 to be with him right now.
Yeah.
But we don't have the money to keep doing this, keep redesigning, keep paying him to come out. I know you guys have your job, so
Yeah.
I'm happy to talk to somebody else if you'd like to give me some time to do that, see if I can talk to another scientist for sure. It's just, there's no rent being paid by anyone there, so we're just eating a lot of money. Again, not your fault that we did what we did, but it's just putting us in a really bad financial spot.
Right, and just going along with what Lynn said, perhaps maybe a new scientist could put together a better plan so you won't be having to redo this over and over. Because continuing, like Libby had pointed out, she has a lot of expertise. We want to see what you have to do succeed, and we want to see it done correctly. And like you just said, it's already cost you an arm and a leg, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We need to have a better plan that's gonna not sink you financially and still be able to provide what needs to be done for conservation.
Understood.
Yeah,
I honestly feel for you, because
yeah,
I remember asking explicitly how a berm at the bottom of a hill is going to be successful, and he swore up and down because of the soil types and everything, and
yeah.
I really do feel bad that I don't want to be slandering anybody in particular, but the wrong application seemed to have been applied in this situation. And I'd rather see a rework than a constant battle to try to make this work and hurt you more in the long run.
Right.
I honestly feel bad for you, I really do, because I know you've gone this far trying to do right and all these issues along the way. I just would
Yes.
want to see it done right and come to an end for you so you don't have to worry about it continuously.
So,
Okay, so I need to put some time into, obviously, just give me a little time to find someone. It's hard to get someone, and at the end of the day, Dave didn't do his job, and he looked for a fast fix that was obviously not working, so he just didn't do a good job for us as a client, and just the follow-ups and everything, so I need to get rid of him anyways. But I just need some time to find someone else to help us with this.
Of course.
Chairwoman, can I just ask a question?
Absolutely.
Did we okay the planting plan or no, as a board? The way it is today with the berm?
Yeah, we did.
Yeah, because the
the
berm,
plan on paper was okay, not how it was installed.
Yeah.
So the actual installation is not what the plan called for?
Not at all.
No.
Correct.
Not at all.
But I think the commission's saying that they don't really agree with the plan either, in addition to the.
Yeah, I thought it was a plan that we okayed. I didn't realize it didn't, if it doesn't conform to the plan, it doesn't conform to the plan.
Yeah, I mean, it's
Thank you.
not, they also added, their boulders that were missing, they used it to construct some stormwater outfalls through the berm, so obviously they themselves on the site recognized that there was an issue, didn't do it correctly, in fact, they should have come to us and talked to us about this
Right.
before. But yeah, the runoff is an issue, and I don't think that their plan took that into account.
So the commission want to hear from them at the August meeting, August 25th?
Yeah.
It seems like they're not recommended. I mean, I don't think anyone wants to seem to try planting
No.
in August anyway,
No,
so
especially in August.
might as well just put it on pause for a month
Yeah.
and then get an update, whether they be trying to pursue this plan or trying to propose a new one.
Yeah.
30 days should be enough for them to be able to
Yeah.
contact someone and at least get someone to represent them.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I think that's
So
the
it'll be
first
August
step.
25th.
Find somebody new, have them come up with a plan.
Would that be
Yeah.
sufficient time, from now until August 25th to be able to?
Yes.
Let's find somebody.
To find a wetland scientist that can come out and just look over the situation and, make the recommendations as to what needs to be done going forward that will be successful for you and us. So,
Yeah, absolutely, yes.
Okay, so I think we have to amend the enforcement order
Yeah.
accordingly.
Can I ask a question here? So
Sure.
the berm was approved. The berm was built to specifications. The rocks were put in there but taken back out, so the berm is exactly what was approved on the plan. The plantings in the back are not correct. They died. We used the right plants, but they died, but. So I do have a concern, and I appreciate your concern of it working too, because we don't want problems later. But, we spent a ton of money too, so I'm just a little, nothing to do with you guys, I'm frustrated on the whole situation. I wanted to have our last discussion be a good discussion, but, I just, if it was approved originally, how do I have to go redo the whole thing is my concern.
Can I address that, Lynn?
Absolutely.
When there's a moment, I'd like to speak on that too.
Okay, Libby first, and then you, Chris.
When enforcement is taken, the requirement is that the functions of the wetland be restored. How it's done is up to the violator to accomplish. The fact that a plan was approved doesn't necessarily mean it's the plan that was dictated, because the commission does not dictate the responsibility and how it's done. They just approve a proposed plan. And if it does not succeed to restore the functions and values of the wetland resource areas, the burden is still on the violator to accomplish that.
So why did you have why were we told to go ahead and do what was approved? Is my question.
Because your wetland scientist, when he appeared in our hearings,
Yeah,
the biggest concern was that there was a lot of wetlands that, because of the logging business that was going on there, kept encroaching further and further into the wetlands. So it all had to be dug out, and we were presented the fact that in order for the logging business to continue, they had to have some sort of measures put into place to ensure that that encroachment would not occur again. And the wetland scientist assured us that this would be a project that would be workable once they pulled everything out of the wetland, found the wetland line, and to prevent further and having it continue with the logging business that was there, this would be the way to go. And that's how it was presented.
okay.
So, I mean, it was all on preventive measures so that the trucks would not be in there and the logs, because originally, I guess they had tried to plant some sort of trees out there, and the trucks had come in, moved logs, and they ran over trees that were there. And it just kept going further and further and further into the wetland. So, I mean, am I recalling that correctly, fellow commissioners?
happens, yes.
Yeah.
So-
I have to go
Can
back.
I speak?
Chris is next, yes, please.
Can I just seek clarification? I asked, did we approve the plan? And I was told it wasn't done to the plan, but it sounds like it was done to the plan.
It looks like they tried to do it, but they were also.
I don't think it would be fair for us to say now that you have to come up with a new plan when we already approved the plan. That would be like me building a house and the inspector telling me to do something and I do it and he changes his mind. I don't see how that's right.
But it wasn't successful.
It wasn't successful. It wasn't done right, and it wasn't successful.
Well, it was done as we instructed him to do it.
We did not instruct them to do anything on it. Their wetland scientist proposed a plan to us, told us what they were going to do, and asked if it was okay to proceed with doing that setup, just like any other enforcement order.
What did we say?
I told them I don't think it's going to work.
Said, go ahead.
I said, I don't think it's
What
going to
did we
work.
vote?
Prove me wrong.
I believe the vote was in the affirmative for them with their presentation and how it was submitted to us, that we said, okay, we'll go with your plan if this you feel is going to solve the problem. And that's what happened. I mean, I don't know what else to say.
I'm gonna argue, we can't change the plan. I'm just one member, but I don't see how we can change the plan after we tell a gentleman how to do it. He drops thousands and thousands of dollars, and then we say, well, actually, we don't like that plan. It didn't work out, so they come up with a new one. I think that's a real disservice.
But we did not tell him to do anything. They proposed
Did
to
we approve
us,
the plan, AJ? Yes or no?
The
Chris, they proposed to us what they wanted to do, and we said, go ahead,
Okay,
proceed.
did we approve
We
it?
did not
Okay.
design, we do not create, we are not wetland
Did we
biologists.
approve it?
Let's not argue amongst ourselves. I think the issue here is not going back and forth, but is this plan going to work? If it's not going to work, and it sounds like it's not, then we need to have some sort of redesign. Otherwise, he's going to be here 20 years from now dealing with this issue if we stick with what happened. This isn't a
Not
plan
if he
of
did
building
like
a,
we told him to.
Chris, I'm still talking. When someone has a plan for a home, that's a lot different than trying to replicate a wetland and restore it back. You can have some modifications that are necessary. As Libby mentioned, the whole point is to get the wetland back to where it was. So I think what we should do, this is the judgment of the wetland scientist that you hire. And whether this would work, he might find somebody else who says, yep, this will work, it was just done wrong. Or, nope, we just need to make a small change and get that implemented. But when just about every single tree died and there's no seeds that have survived, that is, Libby probably has much more experience in that than me, but I've never seen a restoration that poorly done. With like 0% seeds that have actually germinated.
All of the trees will survive.
I saw only 10 to 20% of the plantings, these are native woody plantings, I'm assuming that means trees, were observed in a foliar state during the 2026 growing season.
All the
And-
trees on the berm are.
And who was supposed to be taking care of the Japanese knotweed?
We have to do that.
All right, and were you going to just cut it back or using the cut stem injection method?
Yeah. We're not just cutting it back. It says on the plan what we need to do on Dave.
Okay,
Unfortunately, David's plan, yeah, it does say what we need to do.
okay, I think that there needs to be a revisiting of the plan and that whoever is going to be in charge of that needs to be out there supervising what's going on.
And at any given point in time during this project, if there's an issue, you can always reach out to conservation and let us know if there needs to be, Nick's available for phone calls, and he can advise Lynn or I, what changes might need to happen, so we can at least, stay on top of it. And unfortunately, that didn't happen in this case. because he wasn't available for you?
Well, let me talk to another wetlands person. I just, I know you understand, but you have your job to do, but in our eyes, the berm was approved the way it was. I didn't know any different, or I would have had another conversation. I'm just bleeding money right now. So if someone comes in and wants to change this whole thing, I don't know how we're gonna do it. But let's start with talking to somebody first, and we'll go from there, okay?
Sounds good.
Okay.
I'm not being argumentative, I'm not
No.
trying to be argumentative, I'm just trying to get by.
Right. Absolutely. And who knows, you may get a scientist out there that says this is a workable thing and we can do this, this, and this,
Yeah.
you know.
Okay, well, let's start with that. I'll get working on that this, first of next week, okay?
Okay.
Thanks.
So we want to have a wetland scientist by
The,
the 28th,
Meetings appear on the 25th,
here on the 25th. Okay, 25th.
submit proposed changes by the 18th, so I can get in everyone's packets
Okay,
that week before.
okay. Is that a reasonable time frame for you?
Yes.
if it's not, you need to just let us know. I mean, we're gonna,
We'll definitely work with you, and just to make sure that you find the right wetland scientist that will do the
Yes.
job correctly. Unfortunately, that did not happen this time.
Been painful with them.
I can see that.
Can I make a suggestion?
sure.
To have that information in that quickly after trying to retain someone, that to me appears a little bit too quick. By the next meeting, he could at least demonstrate that he's retained someone and give us a timetable for when he can have a plan in. But I don't think that gives any wetland scientist, or him, time to contract someone and to have them out there and to then put something on paper to have submitted by the 18th. That's my experience anyway.
Okay.
The 30 days is reasonable to at least have someone contracted and in place. But, I mean, I think, especially at this time of year, they're pretty busy.
Right. So, with that information and your suggestion, I mean, it sounds reasonable to contract.
September dates, we have the 8th and the 22nd.
That's what I was just gonna check, like, what's the next September? So perhaps maybe, get your new wetland scientist, walk him through the project, show him what's been going on, have him watch, the meetings are all recorded, he can go back and watch, he can hear the back and forth.
He
Give us
could
an-
demonstrate to us that he has someone contracted by the next meeting.
But,
Yeah,
yeah,
but not like a full
Plans.
plan or anything
Yeah.
like that.
It's-
Just obtain someone by then.
but perhaps maybe a plan by the September meeting.
Do you want to set
The
that
end of
date now, or do
September.
we want to talk at the 20th, on the August meeting?
We'll talk to him on the 25th, get an
And then
update,
set a date for the plan.
and then set a date for the plan.
That sounds
In
reasonable.
September,
Yeah.
because, I mean, that will be ideal, planting September, October, that makes a lot of sense. So,
Sounds good.
Okay.
okay.
All right, so. I
And we'll
need-
make the outline discussion that we just had, the new recommendations on the enforcement order.
Okay. So I need a motion.
That would be my motion.
Be able to write that down?
Okay, so, by August 25th, give us an update, and, at the August 25th meeting, August 25th meeting, we can set a time for proposed restoration of the project and what the plan would be from the new wetland scientist.
Okay.
That's my
I'll
motion.
second that.
Okay. All right, roll call. Chris?
All right.
Yeah, no,
You're a no? Okay. Jean?
Aye.
John?
Aye.
AJ?
Aye.
And Libby?
Yes.
Okay, so
Thank
that is how many of us?
4 to
1, 2,
1.
3, 4. 4 to 1. Okay. Thank you, Mr. Reed.
Thank you, Chris.
All right, thanks, Beth.
Thank
Have a
you.
good night.
Thank you, too. Is the softball team people here? Yep, okay. That's just me. Okay, all right. Well, you were, I think, the first one up, so I'll have you come up. The request for determination of applicability filed by Abington Girls Softball to install two dugouts. Project is located at 0 Washington Street.
Yes.
Yes. So-
Madam Chairwoman,
Yes.
Madam Chairwoman, I'm gonna step away from this one. I'm pretty involved with the softball folks.
Okay. Let me find it.
I'll abstain, that's all I'm saying.
Oh, sure, okay. I'm gonna try to put this up on this number. Everybody has their plan. And we're talking about dugouts right around here.
Trying to
Alright, so-
orient. Yeah.
So right around
Yep.
here. Okay.
So our proposal is,
Name and.
oh, sorry, Chris Palmquist on behalf of Abington Girls Softball,
Okay.
the vice president of the board. Our proposal is that we want to install two dugouts on that field. The field is existing now. We would be removing soil 3 inches, pouring concrete pads, and then making open air dugouts with roofs in that location.
And I saw on the plan, I saw this little square here,
Yep.
but where's the other one gonna go?
I thought there was on the,
Did you?
there weren't
Two in
two?
my original, they might not have copied.
They may have,
Oh, okay.
You gotta look really
They
careful.
kind of
Yeah.
go like this.
they're along the first and third base, so they're
Got it.
both kind of traditionally where dugouts would be.
First and third.
First and third, yep. We already have existing benches, so kind of where the benches are now. So it wouldn't require much as far as disturbance. We'd be ripping up 3 inches of soil, putting concrete pads, and then similar to the dugouts we built on field two, kind of open air, so post fences and a roof.
This is an RDA.
Yeah, this is an RDA. Okay, members of the commission? Questions?
So the roofs, are they flat? Are they pitched?
Well, they have to be pitched, yeah, they would be pitched
So the rainwater's gonna flow right off the back onto the ground?
onto, yes.
Okay. Is there a way to put in some kind of a pea stone or gravel
Yeah, so.
infiltration?
Yep,
trench
so we
for
could
that
do
storm?
gutters on the back down to I guess a leaching pit, if you will, a stone gravel pit. The work is being done by Southeastern Voc Tech, so we have to coordinate with them, but I assume that like they could do something to stop to direct the water a different direction away from the river. Is that kind of the hope?
Well, not so much that, dissipate its velocity
Mm-hmm.
so that it's not basically just eating away the soil and causing erosion. So rather than even a point source
Mm-hmm. collection
collection of a BMP, you could just put a trench, a gravel trench behind the.
Sure, absolutely. Yeah, we could, so we're gonna,
Something like that.
yeah, we're gonna do a concrete platform, so behind that, a trench full with keystone or something similar.
Exactly.
Yeah, absolutely.
And talk to them, they might want to play with the sizing on it, depending on the square footage and what's going to come off of it, relative to width and depth.
Yeah, we're going pretty small. That field is primarily used for pre-K through third grade, occasionally bigger girls, but they're gonna be, I believe our proposal was 24 by 8 feet, for the pads, and then the dugouts will be a little slightly smaller.
Yeah, it's at 7 by 25.
25 by 8
Um,
pad, 20.
25 by 8 pad, and then, yeah, I think 7 by,
Because you're pretty close there to the wetlands, so
yep,
dissipating that energy is probably the best way
Absolutely.
to go.
Yeah.
yeah, I don't foresee that being an issue. I'll probably be the one digging the trench myself.
Okay.
No, not really, but,
Come on, this is practice. Everybody bring a shovel and say,
exactly. Girl softball practice with the shovels.
that's how it was when I grew up.
Wheelbarrows of gravel.
Yeah, we can do gravel or pea stone or something that would
Yeah,
dissipate that
something-
force. Yeah,
Something's easy to maintain, you're gonna be able to rake it easy, you're gonna be able to keep it operational and
of course.
take care of.
Further questions?
When are you looking to start this project?
As soon as we can. So we're working with Southeastern Vocational. They obviously start school in September. They can't build until we do the prep work, so.
That's what I was going to ask, because I know if it's going through South Shore, if you were waiting until they started enrolling.
Yeah, we're
in
waiting until
school.
they start, but they won't do the concrete, so we have to get bids for concrete and have someone do the pads, and then they can start. But they are looking to start as soon as they can, once the school year starts.
Okay, that answers my only question.
So we're gonna have
If they were doing
quotes for
concrete or not.
concrete
Like
this week,
25
and so hopefully that can get done
And this one's
fairly quickly. And hopefully we can start construction in September.
So when you excavate for the pads and everything, the soil that's excavated, what's your plan with removal and?
To remove it, to have
Okay.
them take it with
So
them.
you're gonna be working away from the stream area?
Yeah, I would say, I have a measure that's 30 feet away from the stream.
Yeah.
It's existing soil, so there's no shrubbery or trees there, it's just dirt. Should be grass, but it's just dirt.
Okay. So you're just gonna come in across the field, take it out with a truck or whatever?
Yeah, it's very small, and
Okay.
it'll probably be wheelbarrows and shovels. They're only going 3 feet down, just to
3
get.
inches down?
3 inches down, yeah. Just to get enough of the 3-inch
Yeah, yeah,
pad. And the
okay.
pad can actually come up, so they just really have to get it level. That's the big thing.
Yep.
Concrete guys will have to get it level.
Okay.
We can make sure they remove the soil.
Just as long as it's not like other ones where we find the topsoil dumped in the woods 10 feet away.
No, we're rid of the topsoil.
Yeah. You'd be amazed with some people.
No, it doesn't surprise me.
I mean, it's like, that's why we have to
He
ask.
walked
Sure,
down,
of course.
walked down for a final walk, and what's that pile?
No, we'll make sure, we're actually getting bids from concrete, so we'll make sure that's part of their work, is to remove the topsoil and
I mean,
bring it with them.
you might even be able to line it up as the piece, put a pea stone or stone layer with the irrigation behind it all one shot.
Yeah, we'll have to talk to the concrete team.
Yeah,
about
because
that,
a
but-
lot of times they set a gravel base under it.
Yeah, they're gonna set a gravel base, right?
So you might be able to take care of both one shot there. But,
Okay.
all right, so correct me if I'm wrong, we're just,
Anybody from the audience have?
Yeah, I'm
questions?
waiting for everybody to
oh yeah, we need to wait for the
Say.
public.
before I move it to the public.
Okay.
Can I just ask a question? When you're issuing an RDA, do you typically, a determination, do you typically write in some of the excess comments and conditions that
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
I was just checking.
Yes.
Yeah.
Different commissions do it differently.
Sure.
You know, different ways. Yeah. Okay.
Anything else? Okay. Members of the public, anyone want to speak about this or ask questions? Okay, bringing it back to the commission. I'd like to get a motion.
Okay. I'll make a negative determination for the request. I'll make a negative yeah, blah, blah, blah. The RDA.
Is it negative? Because we need to set order conditions still.
You're not an order of condition, it's just the special conditions that we ask that they put the pea gravel down and everything. It's
And-
still, it's negative because they're not gonna have to do an NOI.
Okay. Because we still need to see silt fence or anything like that.
They're 30 feet away from there, and they're only going down 3 inches, and it's
Okay.
gonna be wheelbarrowed out. And that the fact that they're gonna put pea gravel in around behind to
Yep.
catch the rain runoff or disperse the rain from creating any divots down to the lower area.
Okay.
So that would be my motion with those conditions.
Second?
I will second that.
Okay, let's go ahead and do a roll call. Chris has to abstain. Jean?
Aye.
Aye.
AJ?
Aye.
And
Aye.
Ruby?
Aye.
Unanimous. Thank you.
So negative is good in this case.
Yes.
Negative is good. Yeah, positive would mean you'd have to go to
Okay.
the
We
next.
talked about it like 6 weeks ago.
Yeah.
Thank you, everybody. Thank you for your time.
Good luck.
welcome.
Thank you.
Next up, we have a request for determination of applicability filed by Christopher and Patricia Grazios, I'm so sorry to pronounce your name, I can't say it now. Grazioso to expand existing single-family home, 413 square feet, build deck, and relocate above-ground pool. Project is located at 92 Klopp Street.
For the record, Lee Hartman, Merrill Engineering and Land Surveying. So this is, as you mentioned, RDA for 92 Clapp Street. So what they're looking to do is do a repair to an existing deck that they have in the backyard. As mentioned, a 415 square foot addition to the house, as well as a slight relocation of their pool, their above ground pool, and then to have a safer access in and out of the pool, a slight addition of 175 square feet to their back deck to allow this. All of that work, at the closest point is 58 feet from the wetland, so it's 58 feet away. The addition will have a crawl space foundation. The deck addition will have one, maybe two sonotubes that will support it, open underneath. And I think the biggest part for the improvement to the wetlands is the chicken coop that's out there now will be removed. The plans that you have do show that the play set area as well as the shed were going to be moved, but at this point they will stay in place. The shed has a foundation underneath it. I think that would require a much more intensive filing if they wanted to move that. So the play area, which is really just a swing set, and the shed will stay in place and the chicken coop will be removed. Now, the plan does show erosion control measures that will be in place for when they do the work. And I guess just in closing, I would say that it's an improvement to the situation. It's a minor additions that they're proposing, and the removal of the chicken coop from the wetlands area, I think, is a great benefit. Thank you.
Can I ask why you did an RDA and not an NOI?
So I was not involved in this. The person who was, I guess, at your on-site was here, and I think the instructions he had when this was discussed, and I'm not sure with who, they said that an RDA would be fine. So that's why we followed the RDA.
When the contractor initially asked me about the project before the engineers were involved, I said it may require an NOI. If you want to try for the cheaper route, try the RDA first. I was told about the additions, which were going over the existing deck, not so much about the deck getting extended out. I kind of looked at it as an addition over a deck that's sitting there. They had a chance with the RDA with how disturbed that is. It's a little different with the deck going out a couple of feet. Again, it's on the commission how they want to treat it.
This just reminds me of other cases we've had with very similar situations that have filed NOIs, which does require a little bit more work. I know that you're in Riverfront, so that makes this a lot more complicated because you're in an already disturbed area, but there are things you have to take into account with the Rivers Protection Act about how much work you're actually doing, which would lead to requirements for either some restoration, an equivalent amount, or a 2-to-1 replication, which I don't think anybody wants to do. So that would be, I was asking the person who was at the site walk, how much exact square feet were we talking about? Because it was, they mentioned the shed was leaving, and you're
Yes,
saying it's
since we've
not.
talked to them, again, we found out there's a foundation there. That would be a lot more disruption to the wetlands area to dig up that foundation. So that's why we recommended, and they agreed that if they want to do that, that's a bigger discussion and a different filing.
Right.
So just to clarify, I'm sorry, just to clarify then, the plan says it's going to be removed, but you're saying it's staying
Yeah, so
there?
we'll modify a plan and give you a modified plan that notes that both the place set, swing set, and the shed will remain in place. So we'll give you a
swing
modified
set,
plan for
too.
that.
Yeah, this place of the shed is staying.
And I certainly understand the concern. I think I was not involved in any of that. I just would say that it is fairly minor, and we'd hate to have to go back to the client and give them an additional fees for filing the NOI. I think if we had a more definitive feeling at the beginning, we would have done that. But again, trying to be reasonable for a fairly minimal improvement to the site, we're trying to do something positive, but also keep the cost down for the property owner.
Madam Chairman, I have another question.
Yeah.
On the delineation, I don't see any data sheets. Were any done?
Again, I was not involved in this. I can check.
Okay.
So if it was delineated, we did it with, I'm sure Brad Holmes, and yes, I'm sure we have that information.
Yeah, it says it was done by Brad Holmes.
Yes, so,
But I'm just curious why there aren't any data sheets with it. I have another question. Being that it's in riverfront area, unfortunately, without those things being removed, there's not as much room, but I see that there's a chain link fence here with a gate. And I'm wondering whether there's any opportunity for any additional planting that could restore some riverfront area along the rear of the site. I did not have an opportunity to see the site, so I don't know what's between the fence and the BVW line. But I'm presuming that it is yard unvegetated, except for potentially grass right up to the chain link fence. So I didn't know whether there was any opportunity for,
Certainly, if that's something you'd be willing to approve this with that type of condition, we'll come back with a revised plan for you to review.
I'm just wondering about
Yep.
your opinion about if there's opportunity there
Oh,
or
I think
not.
so, yeah. I mean, we'll have to ask the client if they're willing to lose the yard area, but yes. I think that's.
Is riverfront area.
Another,
No, go ahead.
Alternative, and you're correct, it was grass up until the fence. Beyond that was what I think is a lot of invasive species back there. So there's an opportunity there to go in and maybe clean that stuff up and plant in natives.
and then
Another option. They are getting rid of, the chicken coop, so that's an area that they could plant in and that sort of thing, so.
Another item that would need to be addressed is right at that gate. You can see it's daylighted. There's a 4-inch PVC that goes right up to the deck and ties to all the downspouts and goes right out into the wetlands.
Yeah, we talked about that. The only concern is, and that was there when they bought the property, is what kind of disruption would be done to move that. So it's just the rooftop drainage and any kind of sump pump work. And so I think if you want to direct us to do that, we can look at it, but to dig that up, relocate it, may be more detrimental than to just leave it as it's been for the last 10
Well,
plus years.
part of the project, correct me if I'm wrong, but they're gonna take a portion of that deck and enclose that and make that the house? So
No.
isn't that
No, just squaring off that corner.
squaring it off? Okay, but isn't that directly, that part of the deck was where that pipe, looking from the chain link fence to the house, I think it was like 40 feet maybe?
Yeah, it was right next to the stairs, so.
Yeah, it was right next to the stairs, so is that not going to be moving
Yeah, I
anyway?
don't believe so.
So, and then maybe I'm misunderstanding how.
Because the addition is over in the other corner.
Yeah, I didn't crawl under the deck and look,
Yeah, I think it's,
obviously.
it would be under the deck, so it won't affect the pipe.
Well, discontinue use of.
We could, if you want, with dry wells instead.
Because if you look right now, right where that points,
Yeah,
it's washed out.
it's like created a huge gully.
That's the whole back of the house pretty much, we think, is plumbed to that. Even if it was daylighted into the grass to give it that area to disperse itself. I know it's something you find on almost every house now against a wetland, but when possible, try to work with it.
Yeah, so we can look at either dry wells or, just daylight it into the grass.
Yep.
AJ, did you
Yes.
see the one on the driveway side?
The one on the driveway side, I'm not sure which way it goes.
Okay.
I think
But-
that ends up going down towards the street, away from all of this.
It definitely should be on the plan.
Well, because that's on this corner right here. So that could either go straight back or to the side. Either way, it's going into wetlands.
Yeah.
Well, we can look at that one for the front too.
Okay.
Chris, do you have any questions?
I think you're muted, Chris.
Did you mute him?
No, sorry. No, I don't have any questions.
Okay, thanks.
So if I could, just suggest that if you're inclined to do the RDA, that we'd be happy to come back with a revised plan that looks at invasives, looks at some additional plantings, and taking those drainage areas and putting them either daylighted or into dry wells.
I think that's reasonable.
Did you guys figure out what the actual new disturbance is?
So
I
again,
know, Lynn, you would ask that on site,
the
right?
addition itself is 415 feet, and then the deck, which is an open-air deck, is 175. So 175 square feet for the addition to the deck,
Yeah.
and 415 square feet for the addition.
I mean, essentially, we have to write an entire order of conditions for this RDA.
He says he's gonna come back with a new plan with these things in mind, though. I mean,
We can attach an order of conditions to an RDA.
So I would say
mean,
if we
if
show it on the plan,
Then it would kind of just be building it to the plan. The, again, it's what you guys want to do. If they're taking away 400 square feet and added 400 square feet further away from the wetlands.
590 though, right? You said 175, 415.
Yeah, I didn't run the math on it, but the 118 in the back is mostly over an existing deck. So it's not really creating anything there. The pool moves a little deeper, the deck gets squared off, and then they eliminate some in the back. But I think it would be helpful if, I know nothing's getting approved tonight, but at least get the direction. It doesn't make sense for them to come back still seeking the negative.
right.
If making
Right.
all these changes, that answer's going to be no. They should take the next month to convert this into an NOI application. So if it's going to be a positive determination, I think it would be beneficial for everyone to just make it tonight. If the negative still seems feasible, then make all the changes and hopefully it can just get the determination of, as long as they proceed with the plan, it's okay.
Yeah, I mean, usually, I would say putting in a pool or softball field dugouts, like those things could be RDA, but this seems a lot more extensive and it's gonna require a lot of, full order of conditions. So I feel that it should be, we should have an NOI application instead.
Especially being on the riverfront and.
So a motion for positive determination?
Well,
from
first we
one of
want to
you?
ask people in the,
Right.
anybody in the public have any questions, comments? No? Okay, and I'll bring it back.
Okay, I guess I'll make a motion for a positive determination. Because of the fact that they are in Riverfront.
Just say the RDA.
And, what did I do with my instruction sheet? Request for determination of applicability by Christopher and Patricia Grazioso to expand existing family home, 415 square feet, rebuild the deck and relocate. The above pool project is located at 92 Clapp Street for a positive determination.
Get a second?
I'll second that.
Okay, so we'll go for a roll call. Chris?
Yes.
Okay. Jean?
Yes.
John?
Yes.
AJ?
yes.
Libby?
Yes.
Unanimous. Okay.
Thank you for your time.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Aye.
Ask Brad about those data sheets too.
Data sheet.
Yeah, well, for the NOI was.
All right, the next thing, the request for determination of applicability filed by David D. Oliveira to install the above-ground pool project located at 60 Berry Road. That won't be heard tonight because they didn't get their advertisement in the papers. So we're just gonna move next
I'm
to
not doing that.
SE 0840577, request for certificate of compliance for replacement of timber bike trails project located at 739 Linwood Street. Is anybody here for that project? No? Okay. That's okay, because I think the pictures speak for themselves.
They
so-
did.
So, Libby, this was a project done by the Mountain Biking Association. They had a number of trails in Ames Knoll that were just falling apart. Like, I went out there and almost,
They were a
the
mess.
wood almost snapped in half.
Yeah.
And the poor guy was like, "Are you okay? Do you need my hand?" And going around. So we got the pictures in here. It looks like they did a pretty nice job, in my opinion.
Especially for somewhere they had to drag all that material.
I was gonna say.
Yeah.
back to that.
Yeah.
And that terrain just to get there is not easy.
No, it was not easy. Yeah, he
Somehow.
showed me the staging area, and they'd have, in ways of like trying to get it all in there was gonna be quite the effort, so.
Did they do it in the winter conditions?
They did
The
it.
photos are from December. So my suspicion is they did.
We went out there.
Probably frozen.
I think that was their plan, was to try to
Yeah, do it during
utilize the
frozen.
frozen
Yeah,
walk out there a little
Yeah,
easier.
because they wouldn't
It
have
looks
to.
at like, oh, I see some
on the
snow.
ground,
Yeah,
Yeah, 12,
That's the time to
17,
do it.
20,
Only
25.
time you
Yep.
can get out there without
Yeah.
improvements.
I want to say I was out there in October. It wasn't super cold.
No mosquitoes.
No, yeah. But I could be wrong, September, October. Okay.
Oh, December 10th.
That's when we approved her, wasn't it?
Was completed in substantial compliance
Oh.
with the order.
It was issued December 10th, yeah.
I think they meant 2025.
I'm at 25.
That's okay. All right. Any members of the public like to speak about this project? Okay, bringing it back to the board. Can you get a motion?
Make a motion to issue a certificate of compliance for SE 0840577 for the replacement of timber bike trails, project located at 739 Linwood Street.
I'll second that.
All right, roll call. Chris?
Yes.
Okay, Jean?
Yes.
John?
Yes.
AJ?
Yes.
Libby?
Sure, yeah.
Okay, thank you, unanimous. All right, moving on. SEO 840592, abbreviated Notice of Resource Area Delineation filed by Anthony Pusateri. Property is located at 0 Rockland Street. And I believe I am supposed to pull up the ANRAD.
Hi, good evening. For the record, Garrett Horsfall with Kelly Engineering Group, site civil engineer for the project. You prepared the ANRAD before you tonight. Also with me tonight is Kate Wilkins from Ecotech, who is the wetland scientist who performed the delineations before you tonight. Also are the landowners, Tony and Joan Pusateri, 6 Pusateri Place, sort of top left on the plan before you tonight. So before I begin, I just wanted to make you want the
Oh, thank you.
So the parcel actually consists of about 2 separate parcels. In total, it's about 15.7 acres. It has a small piece of frontage off of Karen Lane at the bottom left here. And then it also has a section of frontage on Rockland Street on the top right of the plan as well. It's bounded to the south by the Cape Cod Lumber facility. Recently, several years ago, there was a yard expansion in that section of the property. Is the most, we were actually the engineers in that project as well, so we're familiar with that site as well. And then to the left, screen left, actually up west and north, there's single-family residential homes. To the north is some single-family residential homes as well as Rockland Street. And then on the eastern side of the property is the Stream River, which runs planned north to south. There's a couple culverts underneath Rockland Street, which carry the flow below Rockland Street. So the site generally slopes screen left to right here. from Karen Lane down to the river, there's a gradual slope, and then there's several resource areas sporadically that have been delineated throughout the property. I guess I'll start with letter A, which would be the top right here, which is a BVW system associated with the stream river. And then the bottom screen, we have wetland system B, and I want to caveat B as it connects to, it kind of follows around and fully connects into C, the C series and the D series. So it forms all one contiguous wetland on the right and central portion of the property here. And then at the very top is the other side of that contiguous wetland, Series E, sort of very top of the plan on that peninsula would be wetland Series E, just that backside of that larger BVW system. It's all one contiguous system that ultimately gets down to the stream river. We also did identify 2 pockets of isolated wetlands on the property. There's a very small one, sort of, I would say, bullseye in the middle of the plan. I believe that is wetland F. It's only about 5 flags. And then there's a larger one, wetland I, just south of that on the plan, also classified as an isolated wetland system and jurisdictional under your local bylaw and associated regulations. We do have the applicable buffer zones shown on the plan. The wetlands themselves are blue, and then we have the 35 and 50 in red, and then the 100-foot buffer zone in green. And then on the right-hand side, you have your stream river, which was flat delineated at the mean annual high water line. And all of these delineations, by the way, were done this spring, March, April-ish. And then there's also additional evaluations done in May relative to vernal pools, which I'll speak to later. The right-hand side is the stream river, so you have your inner 100 first purple line and your second outer 100 or 200 outer riparian zone as the second purple line to the left of that. And so we did, back to the isolated wetlands, we did prepare isolated land subject to flooding calculations to demonstrate they would not be classified as ILSF under the Act. However, they're still jurisdictional under the town's wetland protection bylaw and associated regulations. There also were vernal pool evaluations per the vernal pool definition within your local regulations. That study was conducted, as well as a state obligatory species study was conducted as well. And what was found is that essentially these pools were essentially dry in the month of May, and that there were no obligatory reported species found in any of these resource areas that I mentioned before, the INF of the isolated areas on the property. There was a DEP has issued a number for this project. DEP Southeast, that is. There were no technical comments associated with the filing. And you'll understand this is an ANRAD for you tonight. We're hoping to get these lines verified to the best, and so the property owner can properly decide what they want to do with the property. And with that, I'd glad to answer any questions, or Kate is here for any of the wetland flagging as well, and anybody from the public.
Your wetland scientist did the delineation in March?
Yes, it was March and April.
March and April. Okay, I believe, don't we have
What day in March?
26th, right here? March 26th. Okay, in our regulations, it does indicate that wetland delineation shouldn't be done before March 31st.
I did walk the site on the later dates in April and confirm. That's kind of why we were.
It's, if we're gonna talk to someone else, we should have them come up.
Yeah.
For the record, I'm Kate Wilkins from Ecotech. So just to recap what I was saying before, we did do the evaluation on multiple days, including April as well as early March, and we confirmed the delineation in April. But, you know, that was the intent of the ANRAD. You know, if you wanted to evaluate the delineation we can definitely have a site walk at some point and confirm.
I would say that typically on parcels this large, we would have peer review done.
Understood.
How many acres is it? 15?
15, yeah.
Lynn, I have a couple of questions.
Sure.
There's only one set of data sheets on C21, near C21. Can you tell me approximately how far from the flag each of your upland and your wetland,
Probably around 15 to 20 feet.
15 to 20 feet? Have you done any counts on any other of the lines?
I can definitely provide those. I figured since it was all the same system that it would be about the same species and soils, but if you guys want more data sheets, I can certainly provide them.
I think that that's reasonable, at least one on each flag line section, you know.
On each letter series.
Yeah, at least. And I'm also curious about your bankful description. And you guys use stream stats to determine the area of perennial versus intermittent. What time of year were your observations done? Do you remember for the mean annual high water?
For the March and April.
March and April? And did you do bankful observations with any kind of descriptors with that?
We flagged at the top of the bank for about half of it. That was consistent with the mean annual high water line, and then beyond that, around R20 or so, it does become more of a flooded marsh, and we kind of flagged on the transition from predominantly aquatic to predominantly terrestrial plant species. So that's kind of indicative of where areas are underwater.
Okay, but that's not written in your description anywhere about your visual observations of how you did that?
Sure, I can amend it and add some additional language if that's what you'd like.
It kind of makes sense for just supporting your line.
Sure, yeah, I mean, and I'm happy to walk the site with the peer reviewer and confirm the delineation and modify it if they have any changes.
My other, excuse me, my other questions predominantly focus on the ILSF calcs.
I'll pass this to Garrett.
And determination of non-ILSF. When doing so, did you use only subcat volume to the?
It was the watershed of that depression, yes.
Yeah. Did you take into consideration potential groundwater influence in there?
So we did not because it's so shallow, but we can certainly go look at the associated NRCS soil profiles and grab whatever the groundwater depth is in that vicinity.
Did you look at contours and
Yep.
actually measure your basin size?
Yes, it just does not generate the quarter acre foot prerequisite volume. It's only about 1,700 cubic feet within that watershed on the 1 year, 24-hour interval. So that's what the determination is based off of.
Right, but typically what you do is also look at the basin size and where your overflow is and 1 foot contours for it, and then determine any groundwater influence. You do it as a whole package.
So we did not, so the groundwater was not accounted for, but we can certainly look at the profiles and rerun the calculations if that is what the commission would like to see. But it's very shallow, sort of hummocky. But, we can look at the soil profiles and look at what the estimated high groundwater is and see if that will have any impact on that bottom elevation. But it is quite hummocky through there and quite shallow.
So there was standing water in the depression when you were out there?
Say April-ish, it was a couple inches.
And was that indicative of the other wetland nearby as well? Or
It's dry. It's always dry.
everything else was dry, or that was,
Oh, sorry.
The-
I thought you meant
the
other
ILSF
isolated
was,
wetlands,
yeah.
Or all wetlands. Sorry. can you-
Comparing the two, nearby BVW to the isolated area, I'm just trying to factor in potential groundwater influence from both, looking at both of them together and whether or not, like, where the standing water was in the BVW versus the standing water in the ILSF.
So there's a lot of ledge out here, so I do think
It's perched.
I think it's perched for the IVW, and then, it's kind of some headwaters on that, the stream in the center of the site. It's headwaters and drains out, so, it's like a trickle there. But yeah, I think the IVW is perched.
So just to kind of clarify, I think the smaller isolated F-series is about maybe 1 foot lower at the lowest bottom of elevation. Of that, I'm just looking at the ILSF calculations. So it's about 1 foot lower, and that one has been dry every time we've been there. So we think it might just be perched water in this larger isolated, but we can certainly study the groundwater more.
And when you were out there in times of year when we didn't have drought conditions, correct?
I don't recall if there was a drought in March or not.
We've been in a drought.
We've been on moderate drought.
Yeah, I think we were on moderate drought pretty
Yeah, we
much
are.
all winter, weren't we?
Yep.
Somehow,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, I'd really love to see the contours for the topo for that depression.
Is it not legible on the, do you have the calcs? I don't, I have 2 footers. I can change them to 1, or I can certainly. Right, there's 2
I'm
detailed.
looking at the regular plan.
Yep,
You
there's
have
2
it.
detailed ILSF subcatchments with associated TCs and.
Okay, so this is the detailed topo sheet that I'm looking at. That's just a. I see your subcat, but I'm looking for the basically I'm looking for the confinement area of where, the topo for the confinement area. So you have it at 2 foot?
It's at 2 foot intervals currently. Like, it's very shallow, like I said, particularly the.
Okay. I'm looking at 156 as potentially being the confining.
On the larger southerly end, it's 152, sort of, it just kind of, that's why we're saying it's slowing it down as it gets trapped on the ledges through there.
Okay. This is 58. 6. Okay. If you're gonna peer review, that would be something I would suggest that you don't have that all looked at as well.
Right.
Just want to, I mean, clearly their jurisdiction under the local bylaw, so we're treating them as such, whether or not they're ILSF or IBW. They're certainly at you with the jurisdictional level, but, certainly happy to have a peer review of any calculations and the lines itself.
Yeah, we just want to be accurate.
I'll completely
Right.
understand.
I mean, it's a large piece of property with a lot of resource areas that, normally when we have a project of this size, we would go with a peer review.
But we have no objections to that, just clearly stating that, so.
Sure.
I don't have any other questions right now. Thank you.
All right. Anybody else have any questions before I ask members of the public if they want to speak? Chris, do you have any questions?
I do not. That was very informative. Thank you.
All right. Any member of the public like to get up and speak? Yes. Okay, I'll have, the woman in the back, I'm sorry, I don't know your name. I think she raised her hand
right.
first.
I'll go first, I guess.
Okay.
My name's Tim Fian. I'm a resident at 149 Karen Lane in Abington. I just had, you guys hit a number of the questions that were kind of percolating to the top of my list. One of the things leading to the moderate drought conditions that we experienced on the determination form for Site C1, there are the selection for the climatic and hydrologic conditions typical for this time of year. For the upland, they say no, but don't provide any explanation. And for the wetland on the form done on the same day, it says yes. So that, and I think there's some discrepancy there. Also, given it was a moderate moderate drought conditions, for the vernal pools, I know that there's yellow spotted salamanders in the area. I see them in my backyard. Numerous neighbors have as well. Around our neighborhood, there's vernal pools somewhere. They're not in my backyard, and that's a really big parcel of land.
Do you have peepers out there?
All the time. All the time.
Okay.
So just going out there once, looking for a vernal pool after there was a moderate drought condition, I think we need more. I think we need a larger data set to determine that.
Yeah.
So thank you for your time.
Thanks.
And can I leave anything?
We did get your,
Thank you.
Yeah, we
thing,
did, thank you.
and I thought that you might be here to ask the questions, but we can give this to the peer reviewer?
Great, thanks, yeah.
Okay.
Hi, Elaine Miller, 159 Karen Lane. First of all, we don't even know what's being proposed for this area. What is the plan for the area? Can somebody tell us?
Well, we don't know what it is. Right now, this application is just to determine where the wetlands are, like what type of wetlands are on the property, is there a stream nearby, exactly where it's located. And that's the only thing that we're looking at right now. Once they have that information, they may decide this, we can't do anything here, or they may decide to come up with a proposal, but that's another step farther on down the road.
Okay,
So this is purely to say, this is where everything is located.
okay,
Yeah,
The commission wouldn't approve any work as a part of this.
excuse me?
correct.
The commission wouldn't be approving any work as a part of this process,
Okay.
the current process.
I just know, as Tim said, we were in drought conditions all winter, all summer. We have had spotted salamanders, endangered species.
Do you have pictures of any of these spotted
Did I take a
salamanders?
picture? No.
No, but I'm like, anybody in
spots
the neighborhood around you, like any of your neighbors may have had,
I don't know.
got one photo from a couple of years ago.
that's okay. Like to have a copy of it.
I fished mine out of my in-ground pool, and I didn't take a picture of it, but it was about that big, and it was very endangered. It was white with black spots,
Oh.
rather than black with white spots. And we have, somebody asked about peepers. We have lots of
Peepers.
frogs, tree
Okay.
frogs, toads.
Okay,
There's so many animals in there that it's very wet in there.
yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Thank you
Mrs.
very
Miller.
much. Anybody else like to get up?
Good evening, everybody. I'm Chris Draculis. I live at 139 Karen Lane. I'm just right off the map on the side there. I know my concerns are probably for further along development talks, but we have a pretty extreme stormwater issue there with the way the water sheets down the hill. We have a bunch of sinkholes forming, and they're working on one now, so any type of change in the hardscape that gets sent our way is just going to increase that conveyance, impact the subsurface underneath the road, and ultimately probably impact down by Cape Cod lumber, because everything just turns around the hill and goes down there. So any type of change in hardscape, especially with ledge, if they put a foundation, that can always change the way the subsurface water moves down there, and it can send it all back to us instead of to the existing design points. So that's my main concern. As of for the drought situation that we're talking about, I had notes on that, but I'm happy the board also recognized that. I don't know if you guys require any type of certain level of storm to be within 30-day range of the survey being done, but I come from a sewer background. We have a 1-inch storm be done within 3 weeks for studies that we do, so I'm not sure if that's what's saying within your ballpark of type of studies you guys require or not. But that's it.
Thank you.
Great.
Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else? Yes, please.
Hi, my name's Catherine O'Neill. I live at 302 Rockland Street. So our property is 3738, and I think it's 35 that might abut us the closest. I'm not really sure if it's 35 or 36. So first one, the peer review was one of my questions, because I was hoping that was definitely going to be done. And the second thing was talking about the vernal pools and intermittent streams. Or are they just isolating the bordering wetlands or whatever? The other thing I'm worried about is the stormwater. So the woods behind us go uphill, and we're down here. And I'm concerned about that water coming down. I don't begrudge anybody putting something on their property as long as it's safe for everybody else. So I just think all of that needs to be addressed and made sure it's done properly. I know this is just a delineation right now, and it's not really, okay, we're gonna do this, because we'll probably be back for that, but I needed to voice those concerns. I just put up an addition, I don't want that ruined.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I'm her husband, Richard.
Okay,
I do have
Rich,
another
about the
question.
streams, yeah.
Okay.
How many rivers did?
And to come to the microphone, sorry, so people can hear you at home.
Please.
I just
Thank
wanted
you.
to ask him a few questions. How many rivers do you have on?
Sorry. You gotta direct it.
Okay, how many rivers did he put up on that map?
We have,
I think they identified Stream River over here.
Yeah.
And I believe
Was another stream that they
there was
said
another
intermittent.
stream.
That runs through my property?
That's intermittent, which means it doesn't run 12 months out of the year. So the stream that runs through your property, that's not Stream River, is it?
No.
no.
Okay, so the one that runs through your property, is that running 12 months out of the year?
No.
I don't know.
All right, now,
It's hard to say, because it could, when it gets like drought time,
Yeah,
it could
all right,
not
so-
be, but
so, okay.
it really
It's
gets,
not pooling though, it's pooling when we had bad storms, like we
Yeah.
had
it was like, I've had water bubbling up out of the ground,
out of the grass, yeah. By
so.
the rock line,
Oh,
like right by the rock
Yeah,
line.
there's-
Real-
It's like they were saying, a little, but I don't know if March and April, there was a water ban, so that would have been like, kind of like in a drought. But like in the spring and sometimes in the fall, it's more than a marshland
Well,
out back there.
this whole area on the South Shore has been in a moderate drought since last year.
Yeah.
Right.
We've never recovered from it. I mean, even with that 30-inch snowstorm we had, wasn't significant enough to replenish.
Well, it was because we were pumping water.
Well, yeah, but I mean, initially.
No, I
it
know,
does.
but-
Yeah, but I'm saying as far as, you know,
The stream.
as far as this area goes, you know, I mean, we've got water.
I mean, there was water running out through that,
Oh, yeah.
into that back,
I
and
mean,
that was not,
That's surface water.
that was
I think. Yeah.
just on a marsh, it was like a river out there.
Like in
Okay.
the middle of the winter when it's snowy, there are those streams that we don't have snow necessarily on those streams, and that, yeah.
Okay.
Not necessarily on the rock line, to the left of our house.
To the, more towards the west side of Rockland Street in my
There's a
lot.
section on the back that, it's green all the time.
Yeah.
So the water's obviously pretty close there. You know, but I mean, I'm not talking, it's probably 70 or 80 feet back from our house, but, and it's flat there. I'm more concerned about coming down the rocks, down to the rock wall, and into the yard. That's what I'm more concerned about,
Okay.
okay?
Thank
you.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Lynn, that brings up a question I had as a follow-up to what he just said. Can I ask it?
Sure.
Yes.
In any of your BVWs that you have delineated on here, are there sections of any channelized flow within the BVWs that would potentially be a stream channel, even an intermittent?
Certainly within the northern portion, there is a stream channel.
Okay, so that is not yet on your delineation or your plans?
The interior bank, is that what you're referring to?
Yes.
We did not flag interior bank, no, over there.
I think that that would be important to include within any of the resource areas you're showing on the plan, because even for potential design purposes for a crossing or something like that, you're gonna have to know about that, and we're gonna have to know about it. So let's see if that can get updated on your delineation.
Sure, I will say that where they would cross of that intermittent stream, there is no frontage there. So I don't think that they would be accessing through that portion. Where they probably would cross, and this is all theoretical, I don't actually know what's planned at this point, where they would cross would likely be to access the upland in the center of the site through that central BBW area, and that is very diffuse. There's some
Regardless,
flow.
when you're asking for a determination of resource areas, and those resource areas are not put on a plan, it brings up a lot of skepticism and angst afterward, especially if there results in any kind of a violation and everyone says, oh, yeah, but that was never approved. That, that's technically not on the plan, so therefore it's not the resource area for the part of the NRED.
Understood. It is.
This happened.
Yeah,
So-
it is interior, that's not.
Yeah.
The outermost boundary would be, your violation point, so, anything interior to that.
You'd
would-
be surprised.
Understood. We can definitely flag that if that's something the commission wants to see.
Point to one. Easily. Drink it.
Anyone else in the audience?
Let me ask,
You want to phone Bill?
anyone else from the audience in public like to speak? Okay, I'll bring it back to the board.
As discussed earlier, this is a large piece of property with a lot of resource areas, and there's a lot of information that needs to be on the plan. So my recommendation, and I would make a motion for SE 084592, that we have peer review.
Second.
Okay. Roll call. Chris?
Sorry guys, I'm slow on my mute there. I'm gonna no on that one. I'm
Okay.
satisfied with their result.
All right, Jean?
Aye.
John?
Yes.
AJ?
Yes.
Okay, and Libby?
Yes.
All right, so that is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1 for you. So Jean, can you take care of?
I
peer
will,
review?
I will be glad to work with the list I have and also impose my, I'm gonna ask Libby to help me with some of these. I have a list of reviewers I usually have, but if you have anybody in mind, I definitely would love to
Yeah, let me see your list and we can talk.
collaborate with you.
So I
Look
think,
at the list and we can check.
I think we also want to continue this to the 8:25 meeting
Yeah.
Okay.
to pick that peer reviewer.
Yep.
Yes, I agree.
So that will be included in the motion to amend it, that we'll hopefully have the peer review by August 25th, if not sooner, which we would be in contact with you.
We already voted on the motion, we probably vote again.
All right, so can I amend the motion to include that we will have a peer reviewer by the next meeting date, and also work in conjunction with the applicants' representatives and let them know as soon as we do have a peer review?
Well, I think we want options for a peer reviewer at the 8:25 meeting to select one.
We're gonna select the peer reviewer, yeah, at the 8:25 meeting.
Right. Okay.
So moved.
So moved.
One of you.
All right, we'll do another motion just to be safe. Or start with Chris.
He's a no.
No.
Okay, Jean,
Aye.
John?
Aye.
AJ?
Aye.
And Libby?
Aye.
All right, 5-1. All right, thank you.
You guys.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right, next up, SEO 840547, update from applicant project located at 380 Brockton Ave.
On the computer, is that just you taking a vote on who you're picking?
Yes.
So there's no presentation or anything?
No.
Right?
I mean, if they bring a new plan and want to present it,
Yeah.
I wouldn't tell the public that there won't be any discussion on it.
That's what I'm trying to say. So should everyone come back on the 25th?
They can come back if they want to. I mean, we're gonna make the decision about who it's gonna be. I mean, if it were me and I was them, I'd wait to get the peer reviewer
Yeah,
before.
that's what I'm trying to say. If all you
Yeah.
gotta do is vote to choose a peer reviewer that night.
Yeah.
And then I guess you guys would notify us when,
At that meeting, a new date should get continued again.
Yeah.
would you like them to come, they don't need to come? I just want to know the procedure, what you'd like.
They can Zoom.
I mean, they can zoom in if they want to, I mean, the applicant, I mean, but as far as the residents go, I mean, clearly, we're just going to go out and submit bids for a peer review. When we have the, at least 3 applicants, we'll then make a decision at the 8:25 meeting, and then going forward, they will work with the applicants, engineering and wetland scientists to go out and do a walk, and any conservation commissioners that are here that want to attend will most likely go with them.
Right.
My guess is they're unlikely to take time and effort to revise the plans yet until such time as they've met with the peer reviewer on site, because that may incorporate even some more changes.
So I just want us, everyone on the same page. On the 25th, it's just you guys to choose a peer reviewer. We're gonna wait to hear who the peer reviewer is.
Right.
Whatever date you, I guess, they communicate with the peer reviewer and ask for
Right.
to be put on a future agenda.
That's
correct.
That's the intention of the meeting.
Yes.
But if the chair wants discussion on something, it could happen at the meeting.
Yeah.
It's on the agenda, it's open.
You're not expecting a presentation?
No.
Not expecting that.
No.
Okay.
No.
Great.
Typically, that's what happens, is we make the decision
Yeah.
and then,
This is kind of
Yeah.
new to a lot of people, so I want.
Yeah, I just don't like telling the
thank
public
you.
there'll be no talk, and then talk happens, and they go,
Right.
Yeah.
I wanted to be there for it. So
right.
it's on the agenda, it's open for discussion.
Nothing on that Tuesday.
Anybody's invited from the public.
Happy to see you on the
Thank you.
25th.
Can you come up to the podium first?
I'm sorry.
Sean started this, so.
Yeah, it's all.
So related to, obviously, I know the next meeting is just picking a peer review person. The next meeting is just picking a peer review person.
Right.
That's
So
correct.
we have to go out and solicit bids.
Okay, so obviously, we got certified letters in the mail, almost everybody that's here. What happens now? I mean, somebody shouldn't have to do certified letters again for the next meeting that possibly comes. So how do we find out? What do? I've never,
At the meeting on the 25th, it will get continued to another date.
we'll find out then.
At that
Yes.
meeting.
Yes.
So you can attend the meeting, you can watch it online, you're welcome to call me the day after and say, hey, Nick, what date did it move to?
Okay, that's
Any of
what I
those
want
options
to
would
know.
help you
Okay,
figure it
all
out.
right, thank you very
gets-
much.
All right.
Gets posted.
Thank you.
Yeah.
So, I'm gonna say it again so people know what we're doing, because I know
Yeah.
things just went.
That's a good idea.
Okay. SEO 840547, update from applicant project located at 380 Brockton Ave.
Okay. This is 380 Brockton Ave.
Hi, my name is Mary Long Ryan. I'm here representing
We also have to later.
308 Brockton
Mary
Ave
Long
LLC. Yes.
Oh, how are you?
How are you, Jean?
I'm good.
How's Tom? He's good?
Doing well, thank you very much.
Oh, good. And I'm here with the manager of 308 Brockton Ave LLC, Israel Barrasso. And we are here to give an update. Apologies for not knowing too much about it, because I came back from vacation and they said, come on to a meeting on Tuesday to give an update. So last May 27th, 2025, we were here to give an update on the property. Apologies for not having, I would have passed out meeting minutes, but there's none. So I can safely tell you that not much has happened since then. Our biggest obstacle, our biggest hardship is right now is MassDOT. We had a specific person we were working with. He asked for a traffic study. We provided it. Didn't get looked at. Then it comes the government shutdown. MassDOT is part of that. Then when the government shutdown reopened, a 4-unit project was not MassDOT's big priority, so we kept getting moved down. We'll look at it, we'll look at it, we'll look at it. And finally, at about end of March, April, I got an email from them, and I was elated, and we got through 25% of the review process. And then we found out that the gentleman that I've been working with retired. So I now have to start with a new person at MassDOT. And so from asking one thing, she's asked for 5 pages of things. And we're just like, I'm trying to get a hold of her. So I said, can we come down for a meeting? Can we go through this one-on-one? It's getting a little bit tiring to do this via email and do this via an 8.5 by 11 sheet with all these boxes. I'm still trying to get a hold of her to talk to us. I believe Mr. Barrasso told me that he met with Nick, and then Nick reminded him that the order conditions will be lapsing, which I appreciate. Thank you very much. And it lapses November 2nd, 2026. So we're here because I just want to give you that update. Also, asking the commission, how would you like us to proceed? Would you like us to file for an extension on this, on the order conditions? Things that I'm going to propose to my boss is, should we consider taking this project and shrinking it down from a 4-unit commercial to a 2-family residential, which is permissible in the highway commercial zone? It's just things that we just need to do to that property. I think the biggest hiccup is with MassDOT is, one, we're not big enough project for them to even look at, and things have been crazy there. 2, it'll be a residential property, so the curb cut should not be an obstacle because the resident has to get in there, and it stays a residential structure versus a commercial structure. So those are the things. I know we still have time to file for the extension or the amendment. It's usually, I think, 30 days prior to the date, so we still have time, like September, to file. But we just thought, 1, give you an update. 2, your opinion matters. I never even thought MassDOT would be this scary.
I believe with this property, 380 Brockton Ave, wasn't there restoration that was supposed to be done?
Supposed to be done in the spring.
That was supposed to be done, and if you recall, a letter from Mackenzie back on May 5th, 2025, from Rick Smith, who is the Director of Land Surveying for Mackenzie Engineering. Dear Mr. Barrasso, this letter is to notify 308 Brockton Avenue LLC that Mackenzie Engineering Group was on site at 380 Brockton Ave on April 30th, 2025. MEG staked the location of the replication area and the outside mitigation area as shown on site layout plan dated 4/24/2021 and prepared by MEG. Wooden stakes were set, flagged, and marked to identify the location of the 2 areas. So back on May 27th, when Brad Holmes was here at the meeting, Mr. Holmes was saying that there is still a delineated, replication to be done. He goes, but at the same time, he said that, based on it being May, he goes, can be done after construction started. It doesn't need to be done now. Again, he didn't know that we still can't even start construction because we can't get one piece of equipment on there without DEP, without MassDOT approval. And that's where we are.
We already have machinery in there.
We can't have anything because MassDOT has to approve that. And MassDOT will not let us have any machinery on there, and there's no curb cut to get the machine on
I
there.
thought the mitigation you were entering through 360 Brockton Ave.
360, the easement, we received that easement from Peter Fiore.
Yeah.
You mean that area?
So the mitigation area, none of that work's been done or started?
I do not believe so, other than the letter that I just read to you, because, again, I kind of came into this, so some things were happening in 2021, and I went back on the meeting minutes then, and then, I can pretty much only talk to, from May 27th to now that this is where.
Because wasn't there destruction of the wetlands that had to be mitigated?
So the mitigation was proposed to offset the filling. It was supposed to be done in the spring of 2022, ahead of construction. That mitigation area plantings is step one of the process.
Was that for filling for the project or filling that had already occurred
Filling for the project.
for the project? So no project, no mitigation necessary.
Okay.
You know, from the October 12, 2021 public hearing meeting minutes, Austin Chartier from Mackenzie Engineering, he was the one that presented the proposed plan to construct two-story, four-unit residential building, associated parking, access roadways, and site grading within 100 feet of the buffer zone to bordering vegetated wetlands at 380 Brockton Ave. Mr. Chartier stated that there is a pre-existing retention basin. Mr. Chartier stated that they would be clearing existing vegetation, replanting new vegetation. Mr. Chartier proposed a retaining wall that is 2 feet off the wetlands. Mr. Noonan asked, Mike Noonan, who was the chairman at the time, asked 2 feet minimum or 2 feet maximum from the wetland. Mr. Chartier stated it would be 2 foot minimum to the separation of the wetland. Mr. Noonan asked if they had any plans on putting a fence on the retaining wall. Mr. Chartier stated they will be putting in a guardrail but not a natural fence. Mr. Bunker asked if there was any ongoing work on the site. Mr. Chartier stated there's no ongoing work on the site. Ms. Mullen asked about the planning ratio. Mr. Chartier stated it is a 2-to-1 ratio. Mr. Noonan stated that the commission can only approve the map that was submitted. Ms. Mullen asked what type of plants would be were in the disturbed wetlands. Mr. Chartier stated that it was just overgrowth and bushes. Mr. Noonan asked when planting will occur. Mr. Chartier stated the planting will in spring, I think it meant will be in the spring. So that was from the October 12th, and that was when Mr. Fiore owned the property, from my recollection. Yeah. And then we asked, before we came to May 27th meeting, the last public hearing for Mackenzie, to submit a letter to us, making us aware of where they left off.
So order of conditions says planting will be in spring when weather conditions are appropriate before or at the start of construction.
Correct.
And this was from November of 2021.
And I think when Brad was here, Brad Holmes was here, our wetland specialist, he alluded that the plantings were going to be probably not before the construction, but during I guess that can happen during the construction, at that time. But then again, I mean, I'm still stuck with DOT. Literally.
Okay, and you talked about an option of taking it from a floor down to a 2.
Taking it from a commercial to a
And that
residential.
will alleviate a lot of your DOT issues?
I believe so. The other thing I did was, I have asked Mackenzie today, I've asked Rick Smith, who's the land surveyor, if he would come back to the property to do an updated land survey of, and that would be helpful for us. So then we know what is upland, where it is, where we could potentially put the structure, and does it interfere with, do we meet the buffer zones, like things like that. So I figured that would be another avenue. So I asked him if he would entertain that, and then I sent him all the things that I had from him just to, refresh his
He's gonna have
memory.
to back survey the wetland line and.
Yeah.
Yeah, because
But I think it might-
5 years, it's definitely would need to be
Correct.
done.
Wetland delineation's only good for 3, so.
Right, but yeah, so I think it's worth
Unless you
him
get extensions from their order,
order condition.
which they've had, correct?
Right.
They have the
Extensions.
automatic extension from the Governor's Permit Act.
Oh, wonderful. Yes,
Yeah.
I remember.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So it's been 5 years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that has Yeah, that is.
This will expire in November.
Yeah.
Right.
this will Expire.
If the intention is to change it, then I believe that you would need to do a new NOI.
Right.
So if you've made that decision, then you would close this out. You get a certificate of compliance, but it would say,
No
we don't
work.
even do it.
Right,
you know?
right.
And then we would approve that, and then we could see, you could go out, have the delineation checked, submit a new NOI with the new plan.
Right,
Yeah.
Yeah,
right.
5 years, luck could change out there.
Exactly. So I'm
New species.
more anxious to get an updated land survey from Mackenzie. Yeah, so,
Yeah, I'd hate to go for a certificate of completion and all of a sudden now the whole site's covered with knotweed.
Or water.
Yeah.
Exactly.
and then it'll be easier to market and bring it, no web structure.
You could get a COC, a no-work COC, clear the title,
Right,
Yeah.
and then
right.
redo everything with a new NOI.
And new all over again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah, I think that would be a good approach.
right. And I also think MassDOT obstacle will
Be reduced significantly.
it will be like shaved down
Yes,
totally, because they can't deny a residential home from having a
correct.
driveway. Yeah. All right?
All right.
All right. It's great. It's like Dallas, same story. Like it's,
So,
You have to request the
COC.
COC stating that no work was done.
Right.
and send
correct.
it in,
When-
and
So
then-
we'll file or whatever I need to do for that. I'm not used to doing, I'm not used to doing that, but we still have time to do that because it's July and,
Right.
yeah.
Yep.
And we
Okay.
meet, the next meeting is on 8/25.
All right, thanks, okay.
This doesn't expire until November.
November 2nd.
November.
Right.
Yeah,
Right.
so you got
I mean,
plenty of
She
time.
wanted to file her COC for the next meeting.
Right,
Yep.
right.
You've got a few weeks, so.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you very much.
All right.
Welcome.
Nice to see you, Marion.
Nice to see you.
Bye.
Take care.
All right, next up, ACC 25-1, notice from applicant for change in scope of project located 1103 Plymouth Street. Is anyone from? No.
No,
Okay.
I think that's the utility, right?
That's utility. My only question, so, Libby, this was, originally was a National Grid, pole
Yep.
installation, and then what happened?
That's still what it is. They're just
It still is. It's,
eliminating one and moving one out of the actual wetland.
well, NOI, National Grid did their work. They were in the middle of a restoration.
Oh, you're going all the way back.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Giving her the history.
Yeah, gotcha.
And then Mass Electric came in and said, oh, well, we need to go ahead and basically, in doing what they wanted to do with replacement, they would be
Destroying.
messing up
Screwing up the rest.
the restoration.
I've seen that.
Yeah. So we got National Grid to shift the responsibility for the restoration over to Mass Electric, but now they're saying that they're modifying and they're not going to do, they're no longer proposing pole 215 to be replaced. And then the new pole 218-5 is outside of the IVW. Which is, so they were saying that they're not gonna need to put down that construction matting and everything.
mats.
So my question is then,
Who's
We have that-
they're
monitoring?
still responsible for.
Yep. So that monitoring and everything is still in their order conditions.
Okay.
They're not asking to take it out of
Yeah,
there.
this is an order. They're just
I mean-
modifying.
They're modifying it.
Their project in the order.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, all the conditions would remain in
I
effect.
just wanna make sure that they're aware they still, even though they're not planning on disturbing it and then restoring it, that they're still responsible for the restoration.
Technically, you could give them an amended.
In my talk with them, I felt that they did still understand that.
Okay,
Okay.
good.
Come on, like we're gonna get a certificate of completion anyways.
Well, hey, never know. We've already had report from National Grid for the restoration. So
There's hope.
there's hope.
There's hope.
For the 0.9% of their open.
Okay.
Thorn in my side.
Okay, are there any questions or comments about that?
No.
Anybody from the public? Nope, okay, no vote needed. Next up, update on enforcement order for 225 Brockton Ave. Is anybody here from that property? Nope. Okay. This is a long-standing issue, been 2 years. Nick sent out a letter to them saying, we have an enforcement order on you. We don't have the restoration plan in place, so. Have you heard from the owner?
I have not heard anything since the letter, no.
Okay.
So the letter went out July 21, along with $0 violation notice, which is the first step in finding through Abington's bylaws. So I believe the next would be 50, and then it's 100, then 300.
Okay.
Well, I think that's something we might want to entertain because this has been an ongoing issue for 2 years. I remember the initial site walk out there and, you know, there was a lot of disturbance in the back of the property. There was filling that was brought in because it was piled up right up against the tree trunk. There was no vegetation on it, so it was all brand new stuff that was brought in. Aside from the fact that they had reprocessed asphalt over in the area of Stream River, within the 200-foot riverfront, and they had vehicles out there, you know.
Didn't they come to a meeting not that long ago?
Last fall, they came in, and the person who we had seen at the sidewalk,
Wasn't the owner yet?
was supposed to have bought the property, but he hadn't bought it yet, so nothing had been done, no
Right.
delineation, no nothing, and it's just been an ongoing. So if we know who exactly the owner is, and not the person renting it, I mean,
That was my next real question
Yeah, I
from
mean-
an enforcement point of view. From the legal entity that you should really be directing everything to, and I'm sure, Nick,
Right.
you've looked into this, but they change, and sometimes the town records don't keep up with the actual registry records, so I'm curious if.
As of July 21, this was the same owner.
It was, okay.
Yep, I checked the registry before I sent the
Yeah.
letter.
Okay, I figured you were up on that.
So-
But just had to ask.
Of course, I appreciate the checking.
but it's just, I mean, I don't know how the rest of the commission feels, but it's just, to be ignored is not a good thing.
I agree.
I think it would be important to take the next step, at least issuing one of the fine tickets. Get a fine on record, because if you do have to go to Superior Court at some point, a fine being ignored is a lot easier than a non-fine ticket being ignored when a judge is looking at it.
That shows we're being somewhat proactive. I'm just sitting there saying, I hope
That
they
they're
call
not
us
really
back.
not listening to
Yeah,
us.
you know, at least it shows that we're doing something proactive instead of just saying, I hope they call us back.
Is this something we can do, Nick?
Yeah, so, I mean, it's a month till the next meeting, pretty much. Do you guys just want to do the $50 fine and see if that gets them to the next meeting? Or do you want me to pursue, put some kind of cap on it? It's what the commission
So
wants.
this would be $50 per day fine, or it would
So when
just
I
be
say that, I mean a one-time, one-day fine, that's up to you if you want that,
Should
or
at
if you
least
want
put
to
something on record.
pursue, me finding as much as I can up until then, it's up to you.
Our options are a one-time fine or a $50 per day fine.
So it'd be, I believe it's 50, then 100, and then I could start going
so
through, up to.
Okay.
So it could be, you guys could say, hit them $50 a week for the next 4 weeks. You can say, hit them the most you can. You can say, fine them until you hit 400 and stop. Or it can just be the 50 to get their attention. It's really, I'm not gonna fine based on conservation, aside from the commission directing it. So,
I would say start finding till we get contact, at least.
Right.
I would suggest that, because we don't have another meeting for a month,
yeah.
that you might include some deadlines or reference to deadlines we voted, which could include an initial $50 fine that, and just say, another fine of $100 will be issued unless there's some kind of written contact with the office by a deadline certain.
Okay.
You can do interim deadlines like that.
Right, and then-
The next meeting.
Yeah, an appearance
And
at
it
the-
can be written either letter form, email form, however, but it should be a written contact of some sort, so we at least know that they are responding.
Yeah.
At minimum.
Yeah, failure to do so will be.
Well, yeah, will
Yeah.
increase a fine
Yeah.
at this level.
Yep.
So you might want to do, I don't know, 7 days at a time, 10 days at a time. I don't know what the board thinks is reasonable for escalation of fines.
Say 5 business days.
5 business days sounds reasonable to me.
So they have 5 business days to contact.
From the date of your
Us.
letter?
Yeah, that's fine with me.
I would say from the date of the letter. Are you sending them certified?
I send certified and first class.
Okay. You don't have to do it yet, but there's also the option at some point to escalate it to a constable delivery at some point if you feel that that's necessary, but, I think the escalation of the fines is something that at least would be looked at later on as having been reasonable activity by the commission to try and get compliance.
So is commission looking for a weekly fine, escalating per the bylaw
Yes.
until the meeting, assuming, until this communication?
I mean, I feel that way. I think that this has just been going on and on and on, and they're conducting business out there. So this gentleman who owns the property is obviously getting revenue from a business that's
Yep.
being run out there, and nobody's doing anything about it.
I would say with the fine, put some wording of threat of modification of order to cease and desist of all activity on property.
I believe the order already includes cease and desist activity.
Have you received anything back from the certified letter, the return receipt at all?
I haven't gotten the green card back yet. I
Okay.
mean, I got the stamped receipt, showing that it went to the post
Went there,
office.
but they didn't sign it and put it back?
I haven't gotten that back
Okay.
yet. That takes a little bit to kind of get back to me. When I get that, eventually I staple it onto here, but I have not gotten that yet.
Okay.
All right, so that's what we've decided to do to move forward.
So fine them $50. They have 5 business days to contact you. If they don't contact you within 5 business days.
Goes up.
then-
So weekly, I'm gonna send an
Then
escalated fine.
every week, the next week,
Yep.
it'll be $100
Yep.
until we get to 300.
Yep.
Which would be around the time
That'll
of
be
the
the
meeting.
next, the
Right.
28th, right? Right
Yep.
around that time?
25th, yeah.
Wait, excuse me.
Yep,
Okay.
Yeah, I'm looking for written communication confirming that they're gonna attend the meeting.
exactly.
And then I put things on pause until they attend the meeting, the commission can reset with them.
Yep, okay,
Yeah.
That makes sense.
sounds
Understood.
good.
I think we should almost create that as a standard format.
I think we should. I think you're absolutely right. That should be our
Form
standard.
letter.
No,
Exactly.
I'm just, we
No,
have
I mean,
so
it's-
many open ones that we're
Exactly.
trying to resurface.
No,
And then-
I agree with you
And to have it in
100%.
writing that we actually find them, and if we do have to go to a judge or
That's fine.
take legal action later on, at least it shows that we're being proactive and we're doing something.
Exactly.
And we have some kind of record, some kind of paper trail to fall
I
back
agree
on.
with you 100%, John.
Yeah, instead of having the same conversation every single time, trying to figure it out, we just go, let's go with
Exactly.
our standard.
Right. We'll just do whatever previous cases have had us do. That's fine.
Okay, so I think we need a motion for that.
Do we?
Motion to notify and initiate fining until contact is made per the standards we just discussed.
And appearance at the next meeting?
Yes,
On August 25th.
on August 25th.
I second.
Okay. Chris?
Yes.
Okay. Jean?
Yes.
AJ?
Yes.
And John, I'm sorry, I
Yes.
skipped over you. And Libby?
Yes.
Okay, unanimous. All right, moving on to the next one, 261 Walnut Street. It's a similar situation.
Ditto.
Not being, or is anybody from 261 Walnut Street? 261 Walnut Street? Okay.
So this one got pretty much the exact same letter from me as 225 Brockton, mailed same day and time.
Hello, how are you?
Good, how
How
are
are
you?
you?
Yeah,
Did you give your name and address, please?
yeah. So, the last time when I
Sir,
come here,
can you just state your name and address?
my name is Jose Albuquerque. I live in 261 Walnut Street, Abington. My English is very poor, I try to, to display the situation I have, right now. So, what I understand right now, I try to, to talk with our neighbors and friends, about the problem, what I, have right now. It's, I try to, fix in my backyard, with, try to fill, with the soil, try to be nice, in the backyard. But I use the same, spot, where you have grass before, I try to fill around the pool, on the side in the little back, So I don't know, some neighbor, to the, come to tell, to the what's happening in my house, But, I don't understand exactly, where's the problem where I have, over here. And try to fix it and listen, and do the plan, come together, to fix it. It's the
Okay.
part, to the, I cannot understand too much,
Right. Last, there was a complaint received and an enforcement order went out to you because the renovations you were doing on your property are in possibly the wetland area. And it was observed that there was fill being brought in to the back of your property. So John and I had gone out and we arranged a site visit to come out and see you, and I believe your daughter was there at the time as well.
Sure, you remember all that.
Right.
Yeah.
And we talked about what you were doing and where you had cleared trees and dumped the cuttings and everything in there, that there is a wetland according to Mass Mapper. I don't know if you can pull it up on your... All right, so there's your house, and if you go to the DEP Wetland General... Oh, okay. So can you go to the tile where it says the tile and just do 2020? Yeah, or the aerial view. And then you can reduce your opacity. Okay. Well, not too much, but because now we should be able to click back into the, all right, so you can bring it up a little bit, the opacity. It's a little too faint. All right. So we're behind the swimming pool.
I'm sorry, Gene. Lynn, can you zoom in a little bit, just so people can see it a little clearer?
This is as far as it goes.
That's as far as it
Oh,
goes.
wait, no. Isn't as far as it goes.
Yeah.
I was wrong.
There it is, right there.
Yeah.
So there, the pool area, we walked out there, and there was a lot of trees that had been cut and dropped.
I cut 3 trees. Yes.
Well, we can go back to images and look on historically how many trees were there. But the fact is that there is a wetland in that area, and there is also a buffer system that protects the wetland. And anytime you do work in there, you have to come before conservation. And I believe at that time, you spoke with John, you were by the shed, I took pictures, I talked to your daughter. And at that time, in August of 2024, I had indicated to your daughter, because I know communication in English was a little
it's very
difficult.
well, yeah,
So she understood that. I said, with the enforcement order, you need to hire a wetland scientist, because we can't tell you where the line is, but a wetland scientist can go out and he will mark the property and show us where the line is. It could be closer to your pool, it could be further away, we don't know. And we were looking for that update, and we have not heard from anybody since 2024. And that was your responsibility to hire a wetland scientist and have them determine where the line was.
Yeah. So I don't know, measure, I don't know how long is the wetland, because
you show me, to all pictures, all mapped, to the wetland. So the wetland, I had a little river in the back, I don't know about the wetland, it has to, to wet.
And I understand this happens to a lot of people who buy homes, they're not familiar and they don't know, and, people go in and start adjusting things in their yard, and the next thing you know, a neighbor calls or somebody observes, and then this is how it all generates. So the problem is right now is that we need to have the line determined, and it's going to be your responsibility to have that delineation done. You can do a Google search for wetland scientists in the South Shore and call them up and show them what it is that you're dealing with. Because as Lynn showed you, if you go back to map and not the map view, and it shows the wetland.
You want me to get rid of them?
Oh, I don't think it'll let you. The base.
You gotta zoom a little bit to do the base map.
Yeah.
I think if you do the overlay with the DEP wetlands, you'll kind of see what you.
Yeah. Yeah, if you do DEP wetland general.
Zoom thing in my way.
I mean, because we're looking at what we go by to kind of get a general idea of where the wetlands are. Because with this wetland, there's also a 100-foot buffer system that's required to protect it. And, that's what needs to be determined. So there's your house and there's the wetland, according to our mapping. See the green area? That's a wetland. So in addition to the wetland, there's a 100-foot protection area that should not be disturbed unless you come to conservation and,
But I see the pool, where it's
you
just
pull it up a little
working
bit?
in the side of the pool. I don't go in the back, to the goods, to do nothing.
I believe when we were there was a retaining wall or a slight retaining wall, and a little excavator had been bringing in soil and filling it. And you also had your tree cuttings dumped on the other side of the retaining wall. I think I still have the pictures, too.
There was, and there were some rotted trees I know that you cut because they could have been a danger, but still, we need to be notified on anything that's cut down.
Any changes, yeah.
Any changes that you do anywhere near the wetlands or the buffer zone and the dumping.
I don't know if you can see it right there. I'm just trying to pull it right now, Lynn. He's right at the 200 off Stream River.
Oh, really?
We don't have rivers and streams up yet, so you'd have to go USGS.
It's right there.
Yeah.
It's a hydro layer on there.
So,
Hydro layer. That gives you the stream channels.
you have time
That's what I have.
to have your daughter or yourself, I mean, I understand the language barrier, but you need to do the delineation, and we need to take restoration measures if in fact you are in an area that should not have been touched.
So it's possible, to take help, to over here, because I don't know exactly where it has to measure, where is the wetland, I don't know where it has to exactly do, with the, I got to some office over here to come another day and they give me more details, what it has to do.
So when you get sick, say you got your foot hurts, you go hire a foot doctor. Well, now you gotta hire a wetland doctor to help you out with this. When you have an issue and you're not the professional that knows about it, you hire the professional that knows about it to help you out.
Okay.
And once you hire the professional, they're gonna explain it all to you, and they're gonna help you out.
I understand. Yeah. So only, I covered the top to have grass before, I try to make it, to that.
Yeah,
level in there.
but before you do any kind of work like that, you need to have permission through conservation, submit a plan, and that didn't happen. So now we have to have you get the wetland professional to come to your yard and show him what's going on. You can play this meeting, it's recorded. You can go to Abington, play the meeting for him, or give him the piece of paper that we sent you. And he'll know exactly what needs to be done, and he'll explain it to you.
Okay, understand.
That person can call Nick, and Nick can talk to that person on your behalf.
Right.
You know, they can talk.
So I
And
think, does the commission want to amend to put a new date to have a delineation restoration plan submitted? And then I'll give him my email,
I was gonna say, make sure we have a good
ask him to reach out to
contact.
me. I can send him an email,
Yep.
kind of laying out what was discussed today.
Yep.
So hopefully help facilitate passing that along.
Absolutely.
And I'm always happy to talk to whoever.
Yeah, just make sure we have a valid contact and
Yeah.
get back and forth. And when you hire someone, you may be, what you've done could be completely fine. We won't know until you hire a wetland scientist. And he could say, here's the wetlands, here's where you cut, everything's fine. It may not be, but until you hire someone, we do not know.
Right.
And then we can go from there.
Okay, thank you.
All right.
So we'll get a new date,
I'm giving him mine.
perhaps October.
ask him to just wait.
How about
First meeting in October.
Don't wait for him to.
for the delineation to be completed?
So he still has to find someone. I'm thinking October, get the delineation, because right now we have the restoration plan should be filed for October 15th, 2024.
Okay.
I think he's doing it now, but I believe, should we make sure that we have a valid contact email address? Wasn't that an issue?
That's
where
what,
we
he's
could
getting
not-
it now.
I was gonna say, that looks like it's the case. Didn't we have an issue where we couldn't
I'll
contact?
work on that now.
Excellent.
Thank you.
I thought there was a case.
Okay, well,
But don't leave it there.
one
got that.
more second.
Oh, sorry.
So, from this point, from this meeting until,
That's the date we're gonna, October, sometime in October.
what's the first meeting in October? Let Nick, do you know?
So the first meeting in October would be the 13th. So the 6th is when we want a submittal in.
Okay. So what I would say is that from tonight, when you get your wetland scientist, have him contact Nick.
Just say October 1st. I just say October 1st.
Okay.
It makes it a lot easier for people to track
Remember.
things like that.
Give us time before the meeting.
Okay. Nick will work with your wetland scientist, explain to him everything that needs to be done,
Okay, thank you.
and get that information, and, you know, he'll have the information ready for us by October 1st. The delineation, hopefully.
So I think you guys want to amend the order
Yes.
to require delineation restoration plan by October 1st,
Right.
and then to appear at the October 13th meeting.
2026.
Yes.
Yes.
So basically what they're saying is that you're going to get another one of these documents with a new date
Okay,
of October of this year. And that's the document, actually, you should show both of them to the person you hire.
okay,
But your new deadline, and it is a deadline, is October 1st of this year to have the plan and to do the work, okay?
okay.
All right. I'll
That
take that as your motion.
I will make that a motion.
Second?
And AJ second.
Roll call. Chris?
Yes.
Jean?
Aye.
Yes, yes.
Yes.
Libby?
Yes.
Okay, unanimous.
Shoot an email
All
tomorrow.
right.
Kind of help explain what's going on. I'll email you tomorrow. We'll jump off from there.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. This is here. Nick? 308,
I just noticed that too. It's not on the agenda.
it's not on the agenda. Okay.
But we can talk about the site visit.
Site visits are on the
Site
agenda.
visits. We don't have it on the, no, we have site visit, but not the site that was visited.
I think us talking about the site visit, I wouldn't make it too much of a discussion. But I think at the site visit, a lot of things were talked about that the commission would like to see changed, so we can kind of relay a lot of that advice. this time of year isn't really the time to do plantings and stuff like that anyways.
Right.
I think the 380, 308 caught me.
Yeah, I know, I was thinking the same thing.
I was confused. I had crossed it out and changed.
Yeah, because I was like, 380, does he mean 308?
No,
Oh, no.
it's 380. Okay, so,
So, yeah,
We
let's,
do still have one more item.
yeah, we'll go to that first. Discussion and vote on enforcement order for 209 Rockland Street. Is there anybody here from that property? Can you come up here and state your name
Rockland Street.
and address, please?
Yeah, I'm Curtis Ford. I represent Ford Family Realty Trust at 209 Rockland Street.
Okay. So we had noticed that there was a pond that's been filled in on the property.
Well, we never referred to it as a pond. It was a skating rink that
Skating.
was dug out by hand back in the late 60s into the 70s. And more than 20 to 25 years ago, I didn't really feel that I filled it in. I restored the topography of the land. That's the same as it was from the last ice age. There's never been anything, it's all virgin land. But I guess if you saw the water, we used to fill it and it would freeze. My father was the captain of the U.S. Army hockey team. That was his greatest passion in the world was hockey. I played youth hockey. We had a skating rink out there that we made with boards. And we had lights set up. We used, back when the winters were a lot colder, we'd be skating by Thanksgiving. And then before my father passed away, probably I would say 2004, a lot of the same glacial material that was removed was restored. And I graded the area off to the original topography of the land. So it was never a naturally occurring pond. It was a man-made, and we never referred to it as a pond. It was our rink. We would flood it in the fall. It would freeze in the winter. Sometimes there'd be water in there, but by like June, it just evaporated because it wasn't really being fed naturally. And maybe now with the climate change, because we get 2 or 3 inch storms, back 40 years ago, we didn't get, but we used to flood it. We had a well that we used to use for the garden, and we would fill that area. It's all glacial till, so it's all impervious material, so the water would just sit there. It was perfect for a rink. We didn't have to use any impervious, no plastic or anything. It was just all glacial till, and it would fill, and it would freeze. And we had, like you said, we had boards set up where you could practice shooting the puck. And then, like you said, 20 to 25 years ago, I just restored the topography of the land. And it's just, it all runs down to the east. There's a pond down the street, and that's where all the water's been flowing since the last ice age, coming down, heading easterly to that pond. There's never been any standing water on the parcel. So all the glacial moraine from the last ice age, there's still boulders that are sitting there from when the ice melted. They're still there. I mean, I'm in the business, but I haven't done a lot of work there. I like the peace. I like how peaceful it is, but it was just that topography was just restored to how it was. But there was never a natural occurring pond there. Way out in the back there is, not on my parcel, but I think the town owns it now. But we used to call it Palmer's Land. There is a natural body of water back there, and then there's another one down the street. But there's no suspended water anywhere on the property. You could dig a hole almost anywhere in Abington, and it's all glacial till. The water would sit there. It would either evaporate, but it's impervious. It wouldn't perk through the ground. So,
well, when we pull up a property and look at it through Mass Mapper, I believe that it was just historically showing it as a pond. Can you eliminate the visual and just look at it through map?
Well,
Go to the tile, yeah, and just change it back to the base map. And, you know, if you go through images and look historically, it just, and I understand what you're saying, but it's like, why is Mass Mapper showing it as a pond? You know,
Well, the parcel's been in the family. Curtis Ford Jr. acquired the land in 1962 or 63. I'd have to look.
I think I saw
Yeah.
that, looking at the.
But when they acquired the property from the Ballantyne family, there was no suspended water there. My father dug it all out by hand with a wheelbarrow. In fact, 1969, he took me to Child World. I thought I was going to get a new bicycle. I got a wheelbarrow when I was 5 years old.
Yeah.
And I used to work out there with him, and it took us years to make this skating rink. And it was ideal for me as a kid, for him, you know. And then before he passed away, 20 to 25 years ago, we did it by hand back then, but I actually, when I restored it, I used a dump truck. But he was with me before he passed.
So here's my question. I mean, we can defer to DEP and say, okay, it's been a pond, or it was a pond, and it was dug by hand, and it was there for the last, I don't know, if you go to the 1990s, it's going to show that it was there.
It was there in the 90s.
You know, and then all of a sudden, because it was man-made, they filled it in. I mean, I don't know what to do at this point. It's like Ames Knoll State Park is man-made too. That pond is man-made. You know, I mean,
How many square feet is it?
I have no idea.
7,000.
I'm sorry,
I
what?
think it was about 7,000.
Because the definition of pond, at least under the WPA, there's a size for it, and it's under the size for the definition of a pond.
All right, so, I mean, what do you call it?
It minimally could potentially have been an ILSF if, you know, if, it's not something in my experience that would have been pursued by DEP. In all likelihood, because of its size and isolation and not having any likelihood of a other type of wetland function to it.
About 8,700 or so.
8691.
This is very rough.
Yeah,
It's under 10.
yeah.
Well, if I can comment that, I mean, I can't see that, I mean, I'm just looking at that visually.
Yeah.
I'm not scaling it, but it was, what that's represented on that plan right there.
Yeah.
Of course, I was mainly a kid.
Yeah.
So it would have, you know, even seemed bigger, but that what's represented right there was never that, wasn't that size. It was a small rink, like it was,
Do you have the 95 aerials up there, the black and white?
2005's a pretty good picture of it.
Yeah, if you go to Aaron Fishart, 2005.
And that, it lines up perfectly because it's a winter shot.
Yeah.
2005?
Yep. There it is.
Then if you put if you just move the wetland detail over it,
I don't think it'll.
you click and drag the bottom.
Yeah, if
Oh.
you drag it to the bottom, it'll.
I see. Yeah.
Yeah, but there's no water.
Yeah. But you can see it does look bigger than the overlay looks bigger than
Than what it actually
It
is.
is. It does look large.
Yeah, the area
kind of
was,
lines up with what Curtis is saying.
Those are,
Yeah.
You can probably just leave it right on above it, Lynn.
Oh.
I have a feeling this is a case of no wrongdoing for once.
very wrong. It's
Yeah.
very wrong.
Yeah, I'm kind of excited that it's,
So this started in the early 60s and ended in late 60s and early 70s?
Yeah,
From the
it took
start,
a
from the
while.
start to the end?
We did it by hand, and then we made it a little bit bigger. But I mean, I would say that it was only about 3 feet deep into the till, because it's all glacial till. And we cleared the area, you know, with an axe. I mean, double-sided axe, that's how long ago it was. And then we had what we called the skating rink. It was a rink, and then we would flood it out. The water would just sit there.
So when do the aerials show it disappearing?
I think in between '05 and '08. Which is kind of what Kurt's
It
was
was
saying.
gone 2008, 2009.
Yeah.
My father passed in 2008. And I would say, just by memory, it was probably 2004, right around there. You know,
Yeah,
when it was
unfortunately.
restored.
Yeah, we saw it in 2005, and then by 2008, 2009, it's like, okay.
And the other thing.
Yeah, but the area, the same exact area, you know, that we had cleared out is still kind of cleared. You know, that area is cleared out. I actually have a firewood processor like right there. And none of the trees, I mean, some of the smaller trees might have grown back up, but a lot of around the area, a lot of it's all natural occurring. A lot of the rocks are still there. I never moved them. I never
Well, you can
touched
go
them.
right to 2025.
It was all done by hand.
No, that's right in that belt that we're learning is all glacier till and
And this
rock.
is what it looks like today. Well, last year, I should say.
The chair, can I ask a question?
Yes.
What is the violation here?
The violation was filling in a pond. And he's describing what the history is of this.
I'm not a problem.
How come we're just coming up with this 15 to 20 years later?
I don't know.
I don't know.
Has there been an impact or a problem because of it?
It doesn't matter if it's a problem impact. It's, did you fill in a wetland or not? Then you have to fix it. I don't think it matters when it's happening. It's, did we see it? Yes.
The top standard to set. Okay.
All right, so,
Well, I don't know the methodology, I'm not a botanist, but the land always, prior to us digging it, it drains from the northwest
yeah,
to the southeast,
right,
down to the pond that's down the street.
right.
The water has a destination
Right.
naturally.
The pond further down on Rockland Street.
Yes.
Yeah, yeah, I know what you're
It's
talking about.
all flows
Yep.
since the last ice age.
Yeah.
The topography of this land is exactly the same as however many years ago was the last ice age. And a lot of the rocks, the glacial deposits, are still sitting on the ground where when the ice melted. And I just restored the topo that was there in 1962 when my parents bought the property. There's never been any standing water there. We created the basin and we made the hockey rink.
Yeah.
We never called it a pond. We didn't think it was a pond. We would flood it out and we'd skate there in the wintertime. And then, you know, before my father passed, I mean, you know, it was just restored back to the topography that was there from 1962 back to, there's never been any machines out there.
Good.
I mean, I have equipment, I'm in the business, but when they bought the property, there was never any heavy equipment out there. And I haven't really done much. I mean, I got stuff parked there, I mean, you know, stuff that, you know, I use, you know, it's kind of, but it's, you know, but there's never, I never did any development.
Okay.
Everything was done by hand. Do you see the driveway that goes all the way
Yep.
around the back, and then there's a circle? We did that all by hand. We didn't use a shovel dozer, we didn't use a backhoe. I had my little wheelbarrow, I'm not making this up. I had my little wheelbarrow, my father had his big wheelbarrow, I thought, oh, someday I'll be able to push that big one. And I was out there with a little kid. I was 5, 6, 7, 8, 10 years old, and, you know, my father was out there, and that's what we did. We were like 100 years in the wrong century. And, using these hand tools. But I was a little kid and I wanted to help be with my dad. I didn't know.
Yeah.
I didn't know that, well, this is archaic, doing it by hand. All those trails, it's not trails, it looks almost like a road. I mean, obviously the driveway going up to where the house is, and then there's actually a building there that was the first house on that property. He was a tree farmer. In fact, Andrew Ford founded the town, my great-great-grandfather, for the Pinus strobus, the white pine. That was the interest, why they founded this Ford's Farm. But we did all that stuff by hand. My grandfather, Curtis Senior, would come over every Saturday. He turned over our garden with a spade shovel, no rototiller. That was his job. He'd come over and, so there was never any machine work done on that property.
So one of the ways
It
to
was
think about
dug by
this is
hand.
to think about what functions that circle of water actually would have served
Right,
from a, from the science.
right.
And whether or not it meets any of the tests of any of the interests that you protect.
Right.
And other than holding water,
Yeah, knowing the history of it now and
I
how.
can't see it.
Exactly,
Yeah,
Yeah, and we know you,
holding some water.
right.
right.
And not to reiterate, but like I said, it was never, prior to us digging that, there was never any standing water there. But I'm not a botanist, I couldn't say, well, maybe this was, but when you have glacial till, you get what they call a parched water table. You could be up in the western part of Massachusetts, out in the Berkshires, and have an area where the water's suspended. And you'd say, well, how is that possible? It's, 600 feet above sea level. It's a parched, so with this type of material,
Right.
with it's all glacial till, the continental sheet of ice was sitting right on Abington, right on that area, and it's all that till. I could dig a hole anywhere on that property.
Well, knowing
And-
the history of everything that you have discussed here tonight with how it was created and everything, and the value of the property and the depth of what it held for water, it just seems like this was something that was brought to our attention that we had to investigate.
Oh, no,
You know,
believe me.
I mean, we have to do our due diligence as a commission. And when you hear somebody filled a pond and it looked like a pond.
Well, I don't know the definition of a pond.
Well, I mean, again.
But we never
A
classified
water
it as a pond. We never
resource-
referred to it as
It
a
could have been a
pond.
water resource area for a vernal pool. I don't know.
We did dig a well.
Okay.
Another thing I did when I was a kid with my father. We didn't go down that far. I want to say it was like maybe 10 feet in the glacial till. We went down to the C3 layer. A zoo would understand that. And the water, we would irrigate our own garden.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I think every
But the
farmer back
problem
then
was,
did.
late
I
August
mean,
would come before the climate change.
Yeah.
Now the whole hydrologic cycle around the world's all disrupted.
Oh, yeah.
But back then, we used to irrigate our own garden
Mm-hmm.
with a well, a shallow well. And a lot of these houses around Abington, around the South Shore, the potable water was a hand-dug well.
Yep.
That's what they used to drink.
We had a
And
farm
we
on-
had our own well, and we would pump the water from the well and fill that basin in. And we used to be skating by Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
I used to skate before school.
Oh.
Before skate, by
hear
Thanksgiving.
you. Yeah.
And the ice was safe right through March.
Yeah.
And my great-grandmother said the snow came in the 1800s, in September, around this area. So you can see how much the planet is warming up.
Yeah.
Not that you need, you don't need this coming from me, I have no credentials, talking like this.
last time you
But I'm
skated on
just
the
saying
pond.
that.
All right. So I guess as far as this commission goes, how do we feel and what do we want to do and what's the motion and is there anybody else?
I would say motion to lift the order.
Rescind?
Yes.
Is it rescinded if we haven't enacted it, or?
I would
Yeah,
describe it
that's-
as a motion to not ratify the order.
Mom, yeah.
Yeah, that sounds better.
Okay, there we go.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
That sounds
All
better
right.
language.
Thank you, I was using the wrong term. I didn't ratify.
I've done ponds for people. I've made ponds,
Hurts your head.
like with,
I wish it was still cold, still play hockey.
Okay, so we've got one more thing on tonight, so we should
Okay.
probably.
Do we want
We need a motion.
I think
You need a vote?
Yeah, we need,
Yeah.
I think we should, just to be
Yeah,
safe.
okay.
Motion
So, to rescind,
to rescind and.
To not ratify.
To not ratify.
not ratify.
So this is
yeah,
unusual.
well, it's been addressed.
Very different, healthy.
Well, it's an unconventional situation.
Right.
Yeah.
You know, to say that there was a representation of a pond there that was man-made, but for many decades. So when you look at the imagery and say, well, look, the Mass DEP is saying there was a pond there, and we created it. So
Well, I mean,
technically.
again, that's one of our resources when we go, when somebody calls us, that's the first thing we do is go to Mass Map and usually look the address up.
Right.
And, you know, DEP general guidelines, you look at USGS, river streams and, you know, 25
Right.
Bay. And we just kind of get an idea and then we go
Oh, yeah.
from there.
Well,
So now
I mean,
you're here and telling us the
Things are
history.
going in a favorable direction, I shouldn't say anything, but I'll be honest, I've done a lot of land clearing around the South Shore, and I've cleared land that there was ducks there. And I'd set up a dewatering pump, and that pump, I'd leave that pump running for days, and then we would fill it in. And I, like Colonel Klink says, I know nothing. I had an order of conditions.
Yeah, don't
And-
talk anymore.
Let's make a motion and move on to the next subject.
Move on and close the issue out.
Don't do that in Abington.
Let's make
don't
a
do that,
motion.
yeah.
Don't do that in
Yeah.
Abington, please.
Don't give us any more work.
Don't bury any, or dig any more holes for yourself.
Right, let's not have it
Yeah,
more.
right,
You know, you can,
I mean that in more than one way, right?
Yeah, okay, so
All
we
right,
had the
so-
motion, to,
John seconded, I believe.
but we don't have an address, do we? We need an address.
209 Rockland Street,
Oh.
AJ.
209 Rockland Street.
Okay, second.
I second that.
He did.
Okay, roll call, Chris?
Yes.
Okay, Jean?
Yes.
John?
Yes.
AJ?
Yes.
Libby?
Yes.
Okay, unanimous.
Mr. Ford, it was wonderful having you
Yes.
come in.
We'll let Nick say it though.
Thank you.
We'll talk about that.
Okay.
You don't have to do anything else with this. You'll just get that letter. The thing for yourself and
All
it's
right.
done.
All right.
Thank you.
sleep better tonight.
Thank you, Board.
All right,
Good
good night.
Thank you.
So,
Sending out the letter. That's a good closure.
we just have a site walk, but we have to be very careful about what we discuss because this is not necessarily on the agenda. Gentlemen and ladies,
We need to finish our meeting.
Not you.
You're all set.
you can go.
Talk to him.
I'm just saying that we're moving on.
Curtis, in the hall, please.
Thank you.
I got it.
This is the last thing we're doing.
So Curtis, I'm
Okay.
kind of visited his property.
Okay, so we're just gonna discuss the site walk at 308 Brockton Ave. We don't have you guys on the agenda, so we can't really discuss anything other than what we saw. So it was me, Jean. Jean?
I'm right here. Sorry.
You were at the site walk. Get over here. Libby was there.
Past 9.
Nick was there.
Yes.
I'm scolding you like
I
a
know,
child.
and
I'm
very
sorry.
But it's just that if I don't get it in my knee, I'm in trouble and I've been sitting for 3 hours.
I'm sorry.
That's okay.
Okay.
I make
So,
a motion that we give Jean a very strongly worded letter for her.
I will.
But it's a medical excuse and I think I'm allowed to have that and it's called, you know, I have to move.
All right. They take
Okay,
it back. I
Thank,
just said.
thank you, Chris. I appreciate your consideration.
All right, so let's talk about the site walk.
So we did go on a site walk at 308 Brockton Ave today, yesterday. And we met Azu and Frank. And I hope you're feeling okay. Trust me, I'm sorry. And it's an area that has BBWs. And it's been, unfortunately, from a prior tenant, they had done a lot of work out there that he was not aware of, and now he's left with a situation that has to be corrected. I think when we were out there, Azuch had pointed out a few things of, what they would like to try to do, and I think we determined that we need to see the wetland line in order to make a decision and talk about what we needed to do. And we would bring it back to the commission and let everybody know what we saw at the site walk. So that was my take from the site walk. We can't get into great details right now because it's really not an agenda item, and we're discussing generally what happened at that meeting without, we can't make decisions. We want to be as responsible as we can with our duties as conservation commissioners, and also take into consideration that this property has previously been disturbed. I don't know when the business originally started out there, but, it just can't be left, the way it is. We need to know where the line is and make determinations from there at the next meeting what we need to do. The plan of action would be going forward. Libby, I know you probably have comments.
I'm not gonna go into detail because it's not an agenda item, other than to say I did attend.
Yes.
And that Azu was there, the representative for the applicant. And a couple of the things discussed had to do with his wetland expert and what he believed she had recommended to him moving forward.
Yes.
And that I believe it was a general concurrence that that was a good way to go relative to getting additional information and putting it on paper.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
So that's pretty much it.
Yeah, they got all
I think all-
suggestions on how to update the plan.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, so Azu is aware, and, the conversations took place, and it's, how we're gonna move forward.
Yep.
If I could through the chair, I'm sorry, I just didn't catch, what was the address? I'm sorry, guys.
It's 308 Brockton Ave.
Thank you.
Sure. Okay, so I don't think any further action is needed.
Okay.
I would say the last thing is Nick sent out, or I think he sent out the thing about the MACC class.
Yes.
Yep. So we're gonna do last year we had the soils delineation class here. They loved it, we loved it. So now we're back, and this time it's with basic wetlands delineation.
Yeah, I think there's a focus on vegetation this time, but it is kind of an overall.
Yeah.
Beginner's delineation for
Wetlands.
Wetlands will be great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I met Greg to kind of scout the area, everything like that. He seems great. I think it's going to be.
Who's doing
Did
it?
you guys make a decision about where it's gonna
I was
go?
gonna say, did we get a location?
Yep, we found a pretty good area out back there.
Okay.
It's probably 100-yard hike in. You kind of get past that initial wetland into the upland,
Okay.
like island.
Okay.
And then looking at that further wetland, which is a little more natural. I know when we went out here, it was pretty disturbed. So we're going to kind of hike in beyond that and get to a little better spot.
Right.
But where that sewer mains run through is still raised, so it gives you a pretty good trail to get out there. Kind of what they're going to do for that.
The
like,
rail trail?
Connector trail, yeah, eventually.
So
we
it's in
kinda-
that area? Or is
We
it?
kind of walk that until we find a good spot to cut in. And then you get a pretty good open area that he really liked for being able to talk to 15, 20 people at a time and kind of show them everything.
Who's doing the training?
Greg, is it Hawkmock or something like that?
Hawksmith.
Hawksmith with Epsilon.
Yes, I know.
He said nice things about you, Libby. I told him you were a newest member, so.
Thank you. Thank you, Greg.
I reached out to them one time for peer review, and they told us we were too far away to come out to Epsilon. Perhaps maybe we might have some influence now.
Well, I believe he's
A one-day
he's
classes.
doing it. He's doing it through MACC,
Correct.
so they're probably contracted him, or he's even volunteering. I don't know, but that would not be the same.
So I think they
Same
gave us,
level.
what, 1 or 2 free spots?
They weren't clear on that completely.
I know at least
I think
one.
Michelle
Yeah.
said 2.
Okay.
Yeah, she had said 1 or 2. I don't think that's been done yet. I think she's kind of waiting for us to say how many people we have.
Yeah.
And then,
Okay, good.
I know last year when I told her, then she kind of surprised me with, I said, we got 6, and she gave me a bill for 5, and I said, oh, I said 6. She said, you're all set,
Nice, that's very nice. I love Michelle.
Yeah, no, she's been awesome to deal with, planning all this
Very
stuff,
good
so.
to deal with.
I do want to figure out how many people, like this week. I know Chris already replied to me that he can't make it, but if everyone could,
Oh, he's gonna be in Long Island, that's right, too.
What's the exact date again?
The 13th.
13th.
That's a good number.
You told us, so I remember, yeah.
August 13th.
You have a good memory, I'm giving you
Big Apple,
credit.
because
Thank
I've been
you.
to a few.
So it's a yes for me.
I can attend the classroom pub, the inside talk pub, but I don't know if I can go out in the woods. Is it safe for me to walk out there?
I wouldn't if I was you, Gene.
Jeez.
We will figure out a
Weeks
way.
away, you know.
I definitely think it's still worth coming for the classroom part of it,
I will
though.
come for the classroom
Yeah.
part, and I'll be I'll be the food person who brings food.
Everyone loves the food person.
I thought she was gonna say that too, the entertainment. I'm like,
Not entertainment,
Food
but
and beverage?
I will bring the food and some refreshments on behalf of Abington. And I know Michelle brings her own, but
We'll coordinate with Michelle.
yeah, we will.
Yeah, so if anybody else wants to attend,
John.
please let Nick.
As soon as I get home, so I will know August 1st. That's when my schedule and my refrigerator comes out.
Okay.
Okay.
That's what I look for.
It's so
But
much
I
fun.
think I would like to go. That's
Discuss
Saturday?
the
No, it's a Thursday.
Cross-reference the work
Thursday day.
schedule. There's a
Their
couple.
Thursday day.
9 to 4.
Oh.
Yeah, I don't know, unless you guys
Come on,
want to
I'm
give me
taking
6.
work off.
Yeah, but I don't know. I don't have
I'm
much
taking off from
vacation.
work.
I remember the first time I went out on delineation, our circuit rider, Andrew Poyant, took us out to Ames Knoll State Park. It was the best time we ever had. It was great going
was
out
great,
there.
yeah.
Oh my God, he's such a smart man. Soils are his thing. He's amazing. I miss him. I wish we had a circuit rider. We don't.
So, John, were you a no, or are you still maybe?
Let me find out. I'll know
Yeah.
August 1st.
Okay. Yeah, that way I can respond to her Monday
Yeah,
and
I
kind of
mean,
tell her exactly what we
I
got.
gotta check out, finish that out. I'd have to check out my sick and vacation time, and
Yeah.
if I can, I do have to pay a
I
mortgage, so.
know. I
hear you, John.
understand completely.
Unfortunately, I do have to. pay
AJ, putting you on the
bills.
spot?
I gotta double check a couple
Yeah,
of things with
just
work.
shoot me back on that email for me,
Yep,
please.
will do.
I was gonna say, I'll reply back to your email soon.
Oh,
too.
what about our other new man who will be here, John?
Oh, yeah. Is he
John.
around?
Jim.
Jim?
Oh, we have another member, right?
Yep, yeah, he's away this week. I'll have to reach out to him about that class.
Okay.
Hopefully he can attend it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sounds like he really has a wetland background, so it'd be great for him to kind of
Yeah.
jump in there and learn a couple
Get in.
things, yeah.
All right, very good.
So we're all constantly trying to learn and get better.
Now, what time is that again? I'm sorry, on the Thursday?
9 to 4 p.m.
9 to 4.
Last time they got out earlier than that, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, we had some rain last time that made the outdoor portion.
Yeah, thunderstorms,
So
I
there
remember.
until
I was like, yeah.
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 Hopefully it's better weather for this one,
Double
but
dip on my
Yeah, I just had
laptop.
a-
Let's go ahead and end the meeting then.
All right, so motion to adjourn.
Second.
Okay, all in favor?
Chris?
Aye.
Chris?
Aye.
All right, Jean?
Aye.
John?
Yes.
AJ?
Aye.
Libby?
Bye.
Okay, unanimous. We are done.
Good night.
Marathon session.